Yes, I will keep the ball again! What the fuck are you in? Young Faddy over there.
I think it is all for me, innit?
I think it went well, mate.
What do you think?
You're not going to say hi to Ryan, you're not going to say hi to Ryan Jack? Bit rude.
Oh, what a superstar.
Aye.
And that's
Ryan
going to be magnificent.
It's only his 30th show of the week.
Aye, I
Let's swim in the morning, you're doing it.
You've been everywhere this week.
Jerry Springer. I'm surprised, did the Swains ever get an offer to go and Springer?
Kyle, not with Jeremy Kyle.
Was it?
We'd been brilliant on that, wouldn't we?
What was the headline? What would the wee bit at the bottom? What was it I said?
Filthy husband, wouldn't it?
Jack, how you been, mate? Alright?
All good, mate, aye. All good.
Have you got any pet peeves in life, mate, and it does your tits in? Except for the job.
Aye, a few. Mrs. leaves every drawer in the house open. Every drawer.
He'd be in amongst the drawers. He likes that, dogs. He'd be in amongst the drawers.
Sniffing.
I can get on board with that, draws.
Aye, that's annoying.
Every drawer in the house, man, just left open.
Your one last week was good.
What was that?
When people ask you what's been happening.
What else has been happening?
Because that
It happens to me all the time, and I'm like, mate, fuck all. I told you everything, man. Genuinely, what else you want? Anything else?
I thought about
No, that I think.
I got sent a belter yesterday for Andrew Williams, his name was on Instagram. Grown men who share the Celtic and Rangers lineup on their Instagram story an hour before kick-off.
Aye, bad.
No, I don't mind that.
What the fuck? What, for what reason?
I'll send it in group chats, teacher.
Send it in the group chat when we've all got the Sky Sports app.
Aye.
We'll fucking
No,
see
I
it.
like that, mate. And then you get a chat and all that. And then you say, he shouldn't be playing or this or that.
But you could just say, have you seen the Celtic team? He's playing, he shouldn't be playing, he's playing.
Nah, I'm not ways.
So you all for that?
All for that.
What about you, Stanley?
Slow walkers. People that walk pure slow.
But see, on the back of it, my missus walks so fast, mate.
No, I walk rapid and all.
Do you, huh?
Aye.
How's
You've seen that Olympics, the fast walking?
It's brilliant.
Still missing.
Mate, how's that sport? I don't get how that's became a sport.
I know,
Breakdance is now a fucking sport. Graham Murray got gold, didn't he? Didn't even need to enter, mate, just on his performance at Dens that day. Taught Olympics, Spain won again.
How good, mate, another
Your
one.
theory's right, another final.
Incredible, innit? I'm going to need to do a study on this, mate.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're so far ahead, I think, of the game, and I've said that now. I think it was 27 finals, so that must be 28 now.
Well, it will be, huh?
Aye, 28 or 28.
plus
If
one
it's
is
28 and they win one, mate, aye, it's 28 or 28. But it is remarkable, mate, how far ahead the 19s won as well. Wow. I need to do a study on
And buzzing that Henry got beat in the final.
Aye.
I loved him as a player, but as a guy, he seems like...
Did you see him on
Seen
the
the
stage?
videos of him dancing and
I
that.
know.
Mate, see if you're a manager, never dance.
Nah, it's too much.
Even if you're Henry, stop dancing.
But we Martin has done it.
Exactly. look
He's
at him.
done well in his career. Do you know what I mean?
Has he? What has he done? What's he won?
I mean, the Portugal manager, Belgian manager, done alright for himself. Were you in Dubai, mate?
Aye.
How was that?
Class.
Was that a doing?
I went on holiday with my missus and kids, came back, and the guy I know's got a gym and that out there, so he was like, oh, a few of the boys are in a pre-season if you want to come out, so it was unreal.
I don't know how you could do that in that.
Some lineup down the pre-season,
Incredible,
Nah, it was unreal.
Declan
It
Rice?
was. Aye.
He thinks he's shout.
No, again, out of context, that position of the pitch, I like a more technical, like a Rodri type, push Declan Rice up a bit. Well, anyway, mate, training with
The
you.
boy's a machine, anyway.
Is he a machine, Jack, is he?
Machine.
Well, how much fitter than guys like yourself?
Nah, no like running away from me and that, but you can just tell the way he runs and moves and takes the ball and that.
He's like a powerhouse, isn't
Aye,
he?
Rolls Royce.
He's got massive legs.
Aye.
Got massive
Aye.
quads, isn't he?
Aye.
Is he a good lad?
Aye, brand new.
Is he?
Sound down to earth.
Did you get a night out, a pint of that with him there?
Nah, not really. Nah, not really.
Training camp.
no, that
Training
good
camp. He's
again.
like,
Training
aye,
camp
3
for
nights
a
out.
year, honestly, see this guy's mindset.
Work hard, play hard, mate, innit? That's how I work. Tony Olympics, I thought your dad was entered into the ribbon, doing the thing with the ribbon. See, after I left you the other day, I walked by his flat to get back into the tune, he was standing on his balcony doing that.
Well, here, on.
No, I shouted up to me again, and he says, no, I'm just trying to unravel his joke.
Mate, does your dad watch a show?
No, but he said to me, you'd better rap Kerry.
How many stars sponsoring Airdrie this year and they've not even told us? Have you seen the response?
Is it?
Home Masters. Also, we update on the divorce. His dick's divorcing her.
He's done.
But his dick's now going to vlog it, isn't he?
We're going to start vlogging. I need Charlie to speak to you.
Documentary.
Documentary. Oh, bad you, honestly. See, the day my mindset's so different. I want to be almost
Box office shows.
box office. I want to be box office this season. Jacko, would you like? Can I ask you, Jacko? Would you like to play abroad?
Aye. I would. I think, obviously playing Scotland my full career. something different, a different change, style, lifestyle, just everything. Everything's different. So
I think being at a top like a Rangers or Celtic, I know Andy, you done it, but I think for there it might be hard. I would like to go abroad. For me personally, to go and try that out and see how they go about things.
So where you go abroad to, innit?
Aye.
Like you went to Azerbaijan, hated it, didn't you?
Oh my.
Just quickly before we get into the football, you want to ask him every guest when you ask what their dream meal is?
Dream meal, mate, starter, main dessert.
So the electric chair's getting rolled out. Who's bringing in an electric chair? Graham Morty on his seat.
Not really. He's your final
Upside
face
down.
you see, innit?
That's the final face you're going to see. What is it, main? Your starter, main?
Aye, and dessert. It's been quite, do you know what, to be fair, it's been really posh, the answers.
Oh, his is the worst.
It's been so...
Some of the meals you have.
straightforward kind of guy, to be fair.
Right, what are you going then,
Aye.
Jack? Let's hear it.
Probably prawn cocktail. Start.
Oh, I love a prawn cocktail.
Prawn
Are
cocktail.
you putting
Start.
cucumber in that?
Nah.
Just lettuce, prawns and
Aye,
sauce?
You get the electric chair on Christmas Day. That's the only day you eat for a cocktail.
No, I would eat a prawn cocktail, mate. M&S do an amazing prawn
Aye.
cocktail, mate.
Probably fillet steak.
Aye.
How you cooking that? How you cooking that fucker?
Medium.
Medium, right? He gets his well done.
No, I'm medium rare.
Eh?
No, I'm
What
medium
are you?
rare.
Medium rare, Andy?
Medium rare.
Sides on that?
Aye, chips. Got to be with chips on it.
Any sauce?
Peppercorn.
It's a good meal so far. Happy with the meal, you?
I like the fish and meat thing. And then dessert?
Dessert, mate.
Probably sticky toffee.
Oh, sticky.
Aye, everybody said sticky toffee though. But as I say every single week, any time they put the dates in it or raisins in it, it's fucking filthy.
Why would you do that?
That just
Put it in
kills the
desserts,
whole
I hate
thing.
it, mate. Fucking
What was yours
fix it.
again? Pots of jelly, wasn't it?
Mine was the worst meal ever, wasn't it? Pots of jelly.
What's it?
Jelly pots.
Everybody's that sharing them.
My dad's got to bath me one day, man. It really is.
You get one last alcoholic beverage, is that what you're drinking?
Probably a red wine.
Oh,
Glass of
lovely,
red.
mate. What are you going with that, a Malbec?
Chocolate block.
Oh my God.
Oh, this guy's had a top.
This guy's
Chocolate
got it, man. You can tell he's been on a few quick.
Hate wine.
Right, we took a club at the minute. What's happening? Come on, tell us. He's an exclusive. East Kilbride, like Black Rooster. Sorry, you, mate.
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Quiet. I think I touched on there with Slaney saying couplings abroad, but nothing really happened.
Surely any team outside Celtic and Rangers take you now.
I've had a few conversations in that, but
You're only kind of just back fit, aren't you? Like,
what we touched on was like it needs to be right. Do you know what I mean? Like you're going for Rangers, so whatever I get it needs to be right.
What country would you like to see him in?
Italy.
That'd be a great mate.
I know Italy have been looking at the Scottish, the younger market, but I think you could do a good job out there, mate, to be honest.
you take it, wouldn't you?
Oh, you'd be fucking Italy in a minute, mate.
Have you been in any, see since you've came back, mate, for Dubai, have you been in any clubs
No.
training just to keep
No.
fit, or just been doing that yourself?
Did myself.
That's difficult, mate, isn't it?
It's tough.
How do you do that? Just run about the streets, or have you got a gym?
I've been using Motherwell,
Oh, have you been
Dale
in there?
Park. Aye.
What, training as well?
Aye. No, I just run by myself.
Oh, really, right?
That's hard going that, innit? Because then you're still behind, regardless when you go in, you will still be
Come
behind.
train with us, mate.
It's more
If you want it.
game wise, isn't it? Like
Match sharpness.
aye.
Come train with us. Tuesday, Thursday night, I'm being serious.
Mate,
You
you're
like it?
to be fair, you're training.
You've no chance to train on Astro, surely.
Aye, nah. Astro, aye.
Astro.
To be fair, the
You know
intensity
what you
you're
play on
training
Astro
is
rather
brilliant.
than train?
Aye, you know
Dodgy
that.
knee, innit?
Oh, right, Is that soul destroy, mate? Just in running yourself?
Aye. It is
Flat
now.
that.
When I come back to start with, you're like, it's fine, like, you get through it, but
Reminds
after
me
a
of
couple-
COVID. mate.
after a week or two, you're like, I need day to day with the boys and training, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what that reminds me, Andy? Actually, your situation when you left. Remember, it was going on a wee bit with the clubs. Remember that?
That's what I was just saying there. It reminds me of COVID. During COVID, mate, I was doing so right outside my house, there's obviously parking bays with lines. I was doing there and backs using the lines, mate, with car park. Like,
What do you listen to when you're running? Do you do podcast music?
More music, aye.
Podcast.
What one?
Usually Joe Rogan. To be
Yeah.
fair. But it was open goal during that point or not?
Good man.
I told you that's when the
First
first
got in
time. But no, first getting it. But that's when I listened to Russell Anderson, man, when I was doing a 5k.
You're under
End up
the
doing-
Erskine Bridge, didn't
End up doing an hour 25k.
Shut up.
you? What do you listen to when you're running?
I've
You've
been
been back running, he's back running. Running along
Would
the
you-
Clyde.
Would
What are you laughing at? What's
No.
funny about that?
No, because you know the wee story about doing a Clyde. Remember? Anyway, so a 5k, I done my 5k my first time. I'm going to be honest with 20. Usually I tell lies and say it's like 19 minutes. I think the last time I said a 5k was doing it 17.5. 27 minutes I got in. It's bad, isn't it?
That is bad.
Not great.
No, great. Jack, what
Something
you?
to get through.
You're fit as fuck. You've always been fit as fuck.
What would you do a 5k in?
About 18.
Good, like that.
Who's? I've heard that it could be Greg Taylor does it in 16.
16 or 17,
You've heard that?
Greg Dock.
Greg
Oh,
Dock,
he
yeah.
did
done
quite
it
me,
in,
wouldn't you? The
16,
Charlton
17.
captain.
18's that's some gone.
So you were 27. Why don't we'll get you on every Monday and we'll clock your times and see if there's an improvement.
Aye, but
So
I
we'll hold
done
you
it.
accountable.
But I done it on that wasn't doing the Clyde that one. That was on the treadmill when I stayed at level 11. So I reckon if I
11?
aye
It's a fucking plod.
Aye, that is a walk, mate.
no, but
11?
I love it.
Aye,
Mate,
but
what, you
the
got
hu-
27 minutes?
the hull was up in 5.
Oh, right, fuck that.
Aye,
So
right,
it
right.
Aye,
kinda
that's
weighed
a-
itself
that's
in,
a
but
lie as well,
I
anyway,
can't-
That's a lie, it wasn't in 5.
No, I was doing
You wouldn't be able to move in 5.
no incline at all. But I was thinking, see if I put it up the first 10 minutes at 12 or whatever, then my time will just naturally go up.
But you're doing it in your dad's high heels. Like, you need to put trainers on when you're doing it. That's what it takes
Don't
you.
take the incline. You worry about the speed, no the incline.
I know, but that's mentally
Just a
it's
wee
up.
one incline, just like a wee low riser. Like the wee man.
The wee man, aye.
Right, Rangers versus Motherwell. Jacko, you went to the game.
Aye.
Andy, you played in it. We'll come to Ryan Jack first. How was it as a spectator?
Brilliant.
Hey.
First half I thought it was a decent game. First half decent. I thought Rangers probably deserved to be ahead. Second half, probably Motherwell had decent chances, would you say?
Aye.
Um,
Last 20 anyway, last 20, 25.
and then Rangers are holding on.
What were Rangers good at first half?
I reckon they just got it forward, and it wasn't nothing too fancy, to be honest. It was just get it wide. The new boy looks good.
Tierney.
He looks
Tierney.
great, doesn't he? What
Looks
his
sharp.
pass? His pass for Scott Wright.
That joke, mate.
That'd been past assist of the season if
What
it
did
was
Scott Wright do?
I think he missed the shot and it came back out to when he plays it across to Dessers, and then Dessers misses as well. But the pass is magnificent.
Aye. But
They've always struggled with that wide right position, haven't they?
Aye.
I think it suits an inverted winger as well, didn't he? Coming on the left to
Yeah.
Tavern, you go round him.
Mate, he was, for me, he was Rangers' best player by a mile. I thought there was like 2-3 done really well. I thought Conor Barron done
He
well.
looked good, aye.
Thought Diamande done well. But Tierney was I thought Rangers got worse when Tierney went off. He went off after, what was it, 60, 65 minutes or something.
What is it
I
he's
think.
good at, Andy? Does he come inside the pitch in the pocket?
Dips in, takes lovely positions, but even like it's one of them. I think like see, even if you watch him when he had a beast, you can just tell he's good. Do you know what I mean? The way he moved, the way he took the ball, he creates the first 2 chances of the game. He obviously gets his goal, but his goal, as much as a great finish, you see the sort of movement he makes up the back of your fullback, takes a lovely position, takes it on a half turn, drives in. I think he's very, very good. But I thought Rangers started well, to be fair. I thought they played at a higher tempo than what you've seen over sort of pre-season, the first game. Listen, if you're Motherwell or any team outside the Old Firm are on it and they're playing at a good tempo,
it's
it's
gonna
hard
be
to deal with. But I thought second half,
Were they hanging in a wee bit near the end?
I thought second half it felt like Rangers were trying to hold on to what they
Aye.
got instead of
That's
sort of really
surprising,
try and
isn't
go for the sort of third goal. And then I thought we were better second half in the last sort of 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
felt if anyone was going to get a goal in the last 20 minutes, it was going to be us.
Who was good for you?
Butland made an unbelievable
Seen that
save.
save, what a save
What
that
a
is.
save.
I was right behind that and I was like goal all day long. But see, to be fair, like we never, as much as I was saying we were on the ascendancy at that point, we never really threatened that much. That was probably the best chance out of all of them.
How was the atmosphere at Hampden? See? Good, Jacko?
that was alright. It's not the same as Ibrox.
No,
is it?
it's not.
Is it
I've
weird?
never really been a fan
Did
of
you need to sing something at the best quite loud so the players could hear? Did you need to sing it louder than usual?
Aye, but I'm the same. I think Hampden's too far away in it.
I've never been a huge fan.
So aye, the atmosphere's different.
Jacko's Butland, is he top?
Aye, top.
Up there with McGregor?
Giggs the best, isn't he?
Oh,
Like
it's a headline in the paper. Amora Butland's not as good as McGregor.
No, but
That's
it's true though, isn't it?
it's hard to say at the minute because what's Butland been in a year? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Giggsy's done it for years. So aye, Giggsy's top.
What would you put Butland up there?
I mean, that's an incredible signing, isn't it?
He never really makes a mistake, Butland, does he?
No, he does.
Pre-season, aye.
Pre-season and the end of last
said that.
season, I think no, he's been
Cup final,
That's
remember?
how he did the
in the cup final, but
Someone else just that,
He's never made a mistake.
no, but overall he's been a top signing,
he's been
and
good,
then you
aye.
see again how important he is on Saturday there. When that was,
No, he is. He's massive.
Aye, some presence.
I don't think he's like,
Aye.
he doesn't look as tall on the telly, but fucking hell, mate. Must be about 6'4" or something, is
Aye.
he?
Both feet as well, incredible.
Aye, he's good with both feet, aye.
Need to speak at Motherwell because you predicted they'd get it doing
I thought
Did you, aye?
And Nate, no.
just because of the injuries and.
The injuries, and I watched you the last week, and I think obviously Spittle left, Beale left, so it's hard to replace him right away. It's going to take you a bit of time. I fancy.
So what did you do, well, Andy?
First half, nothing, to be honest. First half, Rangers were miles better. Obviously, Lennon has a massive chance to make it 1-0 in the first 5
got to put
minutes.
across, isn't he?
I mean, to be honest, I was like goal all day. I was a boy halfway walking back to the halfway line, so I thought as soon as he was through, I was like goal, because he's got that composure, he's got technique.
Aye, no like him.
But then after that, we were holding on, we were too passive. We never really changed much at half time, to be honest. It was the gaffer was just saying, be more aggressive, make contact, which we were. Stole it in a couple of good areas, got up the pitch a lot more, created more half chances, but like I said, probably didn't create enough to go and get a second. But aye, I think there's a lot of positives to take for us, because we are, like, I've never
Bare
seen
bones.
I've honestly never ever seen a situation with the injuries. We've got 2 games into the season.
And the striker goes off as well, Andy, didn't he?
Just signed him, obviously, just in the door. 10 days, he's looked really good as well in training. Like,
Is that a boy for the Jets?
Aye, got injured the weekend, aye. So that's nine first team players injured. And you're talking genuinely, like, every one of them could easy get a jersey on a Saturday. Like, easy. Boys
That must be fucking hard for managers, isn't it?
No, it's 100%.
mental, mate.
Especially with the budget Motherwell have got. Do you know what I mean? They're never going to have a big pool.
Jacko said to me coming in, he's like, did you have a game plan? Like boys going down to slow the game down? I was like, no. Generally, that is like
Just
what's happening with us in it. It's just boys getting.
What was the game? Did you press them high at the pitch, or did you just let them come to a certain area of the pitch and press?
Sort of get them to certain areas, keep them down one side of the pitch. But in the first half, I thought Rangers played at a tempo that they've not played it recently, pre-season, first game of the season, and they had a lot of rotations, especially on Cherny's side, where Tab would go high, Cherny would come in, or Cherny would be high, Tab would be in. We found it difficult to deal with, but second half, we were more aggressive in that. We weren't as passive. Like, we actually got close to people, made tackles. So I thought that's why we were better in the second half. But I don't think Rangers were great in the second half either, to be fair, so it was probably a bit of both.
You're obsessed with James Tavernier. You've got a question for Ryan Jack.
Do you know what? I've been obsessed with this. It was actually England sparked it in my head with the pressure that they must feel, the players, with the press, with the media, social media and stuff. It's very similar to saying, like, how hard is it to play? I mean, obviously I know to play with Rangers, but how difficult is it, mate, when things aren't going well? Does that really affect you?
Aye, like it affects anybody, do you know what I mean? At that sort of level where the expectation's constantly on you, you need to win. Every game it's to win, it's not to draw, it's not to lose. And obviously, as you touch on James the captain of that, he fronts that, do you know what I mean? And
he does get a lot of it, mate.
No, he does, but I think a lot of that comes with he's a captain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And but like what he produces for week after week for Rangers as a fullback, it's incredible, do you know what I mean?
I think I don't know, but at his stage, I don't know if you get to this stage and go, I can't do that.
Any chance of somebody else getting it?
Yeah, he's been shite for weeks. You know what I'm saying about him?
I think
Does he take it all right? How is he about the place?
No, he
after
does. He's
his-
brilliant. He's brilliant about the place, and Andy's obviously played with him as well. But it's like you obviously as players, you're in Glasgow, you see everything that goes on. Do you know what I mean? You're no daft. And but as I say, like what he produces numbers wise, it's incredible.
I always say that about Tab, like, he never goes under, does he, with the criticism? He'll never hide for the ball.
No.
Like, if he makes mistakes, he'll always try and do the right things for the ball, doesn't he?
He's always fit, mate, as well, isn't he?
He's
played
Because you could easily go, have you been getting slotted Mohammed out type,
100%.
but he plays
Never does.
every game, doesn't he?
And a very high standard as well. I've kind of went against what I said at the end of last season. I thought it was maybe the time was to rebuild, but I think I would definitely keep Tav.
Oh, 100%, mate.
But I think it's very
If I could take one player at the Rangers team and put him in Celtic team, it'd be Tav in a minute.
Would you?
100%. Definitely, mate.
But who would you take?
I'd go Johnson.
What, Alistair Johnson? That's what I'm saying, Tav in for Johnson.
I know I would take
Johnson?
Aye.
I would
Just
take
for the
that, but-
defensive side of things.
You're absolutely steaming. But
Would you know?
no, I'd take the guy that's had 20 goals and assists for the last 5
No, but
years.
defensively, Johnson's been
You said it, mate.
magnificent.
All you have spoken about the last 2 years is Johnston and Taylor need to do better going forward. And now you've just been offered a guy that scores 20 goals, you'll not take them because they're defensive.
You're going to backtrack on this, is it?
No. I would go Johnson. Just what I've listened. Johnson's only came in
Johnson's good, mate.
been in
He's
5
good.
years.
Aye.
And I watched him in the Copa America and he was magnificent goal in the team of the year. So he's obviously playing at a very high standard. But I'm not taking away from it. Defensively, though, I do feel that he's been poor at times, to be honest.
That's your opinion, mate. Huge second leg this week. Dynamo Kiev, can they do it?
Aye, 100%. I think
I
Rangers
thought they
will.
were good first leg.
See what I watched,
Aye,
first
I thought
leg.
Rangers were good first leg. I thought Dynamo Kiev were
He said
poor,
it was good as
to be
me when he
honest.
was at it.
Aye.
Mate, I thought they were going to be unreal because
Well, especially when was it 9-2 or something?
Partizan, wasn't it?
Partizan, aye. So I was expecting it to be a joke, but I wasn't.
Partizan must be.
Wasn't
shite,
that?
eh?
Oh, mate.
Mate, that Partizan manager said they were on the top. He must have gubbed an ecky before that game, mate. I'm telling you now, mate. He's came out and said they should be in the top 5 leagues. I mean, and listen, Rangers were excellent, but they didn't look.
No, I thought they were gash, mate.
Didn't look good at all.
No, I thought they were poor.
So Rangers to
And
go
I actually
through?
thought Rangers were
I think
quite.
so, aye.
I thought Rangers were quite slack, even though they played well. I thought
Aye.
they made like quite a lot of basic unforced errors that you wouldn't expect them to do again.
Yeah.
But like out of possession, they were good. And then Kiev, mate, I wasn't impressed with them at all.
Yeah. I will get your take on this because we asked Faddy in that Rangers best centre back in partnership. They've said
Now?
Balogun every time.
I would go Balogun and you go. I've not seen him, but you would imagine the boy proper.
No.
Roy Proper.
It wouldn't be
Roy Proper,
Balogun for me, to be honest with
What a signing, Roy Proper. Who would you go?
you. At this moment in time, I would probably say Proper and Suter, but
Proper playing on the left hand side and Suter playing on the right.
aye. But again, it remains to be seen. The boy Proper's played one game, but he's obviously been brought
He went
in to
off
play.
as well, didn't
He went off.
Did he?
He went off with like 20 minutes to go or something.
Oh, is that?
But I don't know if it was
It would
just.
not be an injury, just that he's not
Aye,
played a lot.
he's
in
not
the play, is
played,
it?
but
How did he look?
whatever.
Proper.
I thought he looked really
Look
good.
composed,
to be
didn't
fair,
he?
on the ball,
Look
aye.
composed on the ball, aye.
Good.
There's a couple of ones where we tried to play down the side of him and centre halves like in Scotland are probably hooting out for throw-ins. He's like taking touches, like working at the other side, they're going back to the goal. He should have been composure. Did he have much today, did he,
Nah.
like defensively?
Obviously, has the OG, but
He's not
much
much
he
to
could
do.
do.
Yeah.
Nah, he
with
just
that,
flings Roy just flings his foot.
Roy
Haley was
Proper,
getting in the
brilliant.
stand, didn't she?
Haley, what-
That's
you
a
know,
pet. That's my biggest pet hate in Scottish football.
Centre halves.
Centre half run and just kick out for a throw-in.
I hate that.
Try-
No.
Are you clapping that? He's kicked the ball to pitch.
Aye.
I've seen
Fucking
guys getting
back to
coached
goal.
in Scotland.
You're getting working on it.
Well, no, aye, but people like just kick it out, telling young
Kick it out
guys
and
to
get back
play
into
it.
shape.
Neil
Madness.
Warnock said that mind his interview. He's if you kick about the stands, can't score a goal against you.
Aye, you can't
Remember
score
that
for the stand.
aye.
That's right.
I've been in. Listen, Clement came in last season. Did make a big difference. What is it like working under him, mate?
it's different, obviously, for what we're used to. I think that goes back to an issue is like how many changes Rangers have had. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean, over the last sort of number of years? And it's different styles. So you go from obviously Caixinha to Marty to Gerrard, who's completely different. Then you go to Gio, who's a different style straight away again. Then you go back to Beale, who was more like Gerrard. Then you go back to Clement, but
It's totally different again.
aye, and it's like just everything, like training regimes, sort of the length you're training and what you're actually doing in training, like everything changes. So, but no, look, you came in, enjoyed it, and then obviously I had an injury, which wasn't great, but
What is Clement? What is his main thing that he wants for a Rangers team? Like?
he just wants to play forward quick. To be honest, it's no really build out and keep possession and possession based. It's kind of just get the ball out, get it wide, and keep crossing the box, get forward. People run
Try
forward.
and shell it as
Big
fast
game of
as-
copy. Just basically a big game of copy. Innit?
But that
You
is
can kind of see that. Can you?
Uh-huh.
Can see
that is
they
probably
think
my
way
biggest
forward
thing.
quickly.
I've said to him is this season for pre-season, like from watching, obviously being involved last season, I've not really seen any change
Aye.
in Rangers. Do you know what I mean? But I go and watch them, and the style's the same. the
Did
way
you
he plays
expect
the same.
maybe he was just playing like this until the summer, until he got his own players, and then he would maybe implement
Well,
their
that's a
style?
thing. That's a thing. He's obviously mentioned before that he comes in, it's not his players, so you maybe just think that's maybe what he sees that group of players, what they can do. Do you know?
Yeah.
Aye.
But then obviously they go and sign players, and then style's been the same. So
Aye, I've kind of thought that as well. We say that watching a couple of pre-season games, like, mate, it's still like
Quite direct.
he spoke about it loads when he first came in, didn't he? He said he wants to play forward quickly and try and get to the opposition's box within a certain amount of time. And I don't really think that's changed, to be honest. I think that's kind of what you're still seeing now.
How many players do you think Rangers still need to get in?
2 or 3 at least.
2 or 3?
Definitely, aye.
What was the thing? Were you fit at the end of the season? You were fit at the end of the season?
aye,
Just weren't involved.
Steve Clark came out, didn't he? Steve Clark came
Aye,
out.
just wasn't involved. I just think the club probably made their mind up, do you know what I mean? My deal and that, but...
When do you get told that you're not getting a new deal?
Well, I didn't get told till actually when the season finished. I kind of knew, you know what I mean, as a player, you're no daft. The way things were going, wasn't involved, was training, and then I'd went and see him, I think it was like 2 weeks before the season finished, and he was like, aye, look, I don't have an answer for you. And I was like, well, do you know what I mean, like, everybody usually knows, do you know what I mean? Like,
what you're leaning towards, basically.
Aye. And then end of the season finished, still never knew. Phoned me up, I think a week into the summer, before I met up with Scotland actually. Went and seen him and he was just like, the board want to go a different direction. Which is fair enough, do you know what I mean? That's football. And time was probably right, to be honest.
Right, we're on to Celtic, Paul. What do you make of them?
Brilliant. Honestly, absolutely brilliant. Just followed on for pre-season. I was there last week as well. So sharp. On and after the ball, the way they're moving. I remember I labelled it last year. I keep repeating myself, but I was at the game early on last year with Rodgers, and it was quite static, pedestrian. It's anything but that. They're looking magnificent. It's just so sharp there. And they are going to be hard to stop, aren't they?
Just peppered Hibs goal first half, didn't they?
Aye, first half they were really good.
And it is hard, listen, of course it's hard to play against Celtic, but I would be critical of Hibs when they were on the ball. When they're in, it's hard when you're Celtic are really pressing you high, really high, and it's hard to, you need to be obviously working and stuff and have options, but I was meaning maybe in the second half or in the final third, some of the quality I thought was really poor.
Do you know what's a big difference for Rangers and Celtic now as well, I think? See when Rangers get to the final third, you can see Rangers attackers and midfielders just immediately running the box because they're expecting a cross. I mean, Celtic never cross the ball.
No, they put the
But
ball in
never
that
cross the
space,
ball.
then it gets cut across.
Very rarely cross the ball. When Celtic get to the sort of edge of the box, you can see boys just sort of running, like boys making the wee darts in behind, boys running across the face of the goal, and they'll tie like wee intricate passes running about the edge of the box, won't they? As defenders, you can never really get set, because as much as you're saying that Rangers attackers will run in the box because they think a cross is coming in, as an opposition, you'll just sort of fall into your box because you expect the ball to come in as well, but you can see Hibs were getting dragged all
They didn't know where they were
yesterday.
going.
But you can see it's a clear instruction, because it's not even just the 8s that are doing it now. It's the fullbacks are running in that area, even the winger, if it's the 8 that's pulled wide, the winger runs into that area.
100%.
Such a good run in it, that run into that space between
Taylor does it all the time, then he
Brilliant.
just comes inside and then just takes off, goes wide to Jamesy, he just takes off.
Nah, that sort of inside 8 running behind the Dave.
Greg Taylor's been so good, hasn't he?
He's
He's been
good,
so
hasn't he?
consistent.
Schmeichel's a massive upgrade on Hart for me, just with his feet. I know you know how they're safe to make, but see the amount of time the balls came to him, you think Hibs are pretty, he just clips it to a full back right on his toe, and you're out the press. It's fucking excellent. Whereas Hart's leather than that, mate, isn't he? Let's be honest.
There was one in the second half where it looked as if it was rolling into Celtic's goal. But he was proper composed, went to the boy, pressed him and just sort of clipped that. You can tell he's a lot more comfortable with his feet.
Definitely.
But Kuhn's looked
Kuhn looks good, didn't he?
Aye, he does.
First couple of games.
The wee man had trouble with his teeth, didn't he, last year?
I never knew that.
That was what the dental, he's something to do with his dental.
I said that.
I went and got them fixed, and so if we get
Never
these
heard
fixed,
that.
then we could maybe, our performance might, we should go and get our teeth done.
Fucking hell,
'Cause
having
we're
a shock
fucking-
of a 3
we're
year.
playing like Chambers last year. Get anybody their teeth and hopefully our fucking performance levels go.
Calm mate, what about McGregor strike?
He's such a good player, isn't he?
I'm telling you, I was surprised though that with the retirement of Scotland. I was surprised because I still think he's playing.
Brendan's been in his ear, innit? Brendan's been in his ear.
You sure you want to play?
You sure?
I was surprised because he's playing at still a high level. I think when
What
maybe
is it, 31? 31, 32?
year younger
Got
than
60
me,
odd caps, isn't he?
I thought he would do this campaign 2 year.
especially World
To
Cup.
try and get qualified for the World Cup, and then maybe that was it. But I was surprised.
What is the reason that he's given?
Mate, he plays 70 games a year.
Right.
And then there's going to be more games this season, isn't there, as well, with the 8 Champions League games. But I still thought that the age of him and
But see, do you also think on that as well, that see if McGregor thought Scotland had the potential to do something and he was enjoying playing there, he would stay. Married into it too much.
Not potentially, aye. Well, that Euros, I'd imagine as a player, you enjoy, of course, going to the Euros, but probably in the manner how they played at times.
What do you think Brendan says to him?
You sure?
Like the best couple of years of your life coming up. It'd have been something like that, wouldn't it?
They two are tight, aren't they? They two are very tight.
See when he scored, mate, he was first. Rodgers was like that, innit? It's like the day when your boy scores, wasn't it?
Oh, Wait, what's the chances though?
But Disney Clark, didn't he? He does.
Wait, what's the chances of Steve Clark's that game and he hits one right after the time?
He should have just done that to Clark.
Camera went right on him as well, didn't it? Right on the clock.
Straight on the camera and Clark.
But see, I do like McGregor further up in the areas, mate, because he has got that on both feet to fucking score
No,
goals like that.
100%. But then he's so good at dictating games, isn't he?
That was me. Sorry, it's my teeth. On you go.
Seeing your away with Scotland, was he very impressive, McGregor?
Aye.
He's were good together, weren't you?
To be fair, I've known
really
him for like 21s in that, playing against him, but Carl's a top player. Top player. But even the way Celtic play, like, that's what you're talking about, styles and like the difference between Rangers and Celtic. Everything Celtic do goes through McGregor. Centre half Gerrard, it's like, where is he?
Yeah, can we lend that him? But I say to them all the time, let's see any time somebody goes away with Scotland, I always ask them who the best trainer is. Who would you say is the best trainer when you go away with Scotland?
Great questions.
Carver, you said
Probably
when he joins in.
probably Kenny McLean.
A few people have said that.
I said that, aye.
Kenny.
Wow.
Aye.
So I said that to him, you always get like a couple saying like the same, like Kenny's always mentioned,
McTominay,
Aaron Hickey's always mentioned,
Aye, Aaron Hickey, aye.
and McTominay. That's the sort of three that get mentioned all the time.
Nah, Kenny just...
So what, in terms of what's Kenny like, just in training, what his team wins all the time, or just never gives the ball away?
Just like, sometimes international football, you go to training, you know what it's like, nobody wants to get injured, everyone's kind of passive and that, but Kenny's just like full on everywhere, getting the ball, shouting ball, and
Is he half
team always wins.
How good's Aaron Hickey? Aaron Hickey is a joke,
Kenny.
honestly.
Both-footed as well.
Both feet, incredible.
He's linked to City, wasn't he, for a bit?
He will go again though.
I think he's a player that could play for us. I know that, but I think he could technically as well. I think he could.
How was Germany?
It was class. Obviously, football-wise, wasn't a great result-wise, but the trip was unreal. Unreal. Some class experience, something to be... You look back on, you think, like, obviously I didn't play, but look back on, I think, what a trip. Just like hotels, food, training facility, just everything was top.
I know it was a doing as well, but it's even been a part of the opening fixture, obviously against the home nation, Germany, some atmosphere. Like, you look back now, it was a horrible 90 minutes because it was a bit of a doing, but it was some occasion, wasn't it?
Actually sitting on the bench, so you're sitting watching it going, this could actually be 6 or 7.
As bad as Scotland were for that game, but how good was Germany, man?
That Musiala, mate, he was...
Was he the best, was he?
He was
to watch it for the side, was he?
But then intensity
so
to get the ball back. As soon as like Germany lost the ball, they just swarmed the ball.
Even their manager, see, as soon as they lost the ball, mate, their manager was on the touchline, like, gone mental.
Even at like 4-1, 5-1 up, he's still
they could like give the ball away and just be like it was just like
get it back.
Manager,
you can tell though, can't you? Because they swarm it as a team. It's not even like one or two just chasing it back. Like they all just go.
What's the press called?
Ginger press, innit?
Gingen?
What, a Ginger?
Ginger press. The Ginger press.
But see, and I know you're playing against top players, but I think that's why I thought Scotland should have done better. With the players that you have got.
No, you look back, obviously, we'll all look back and think, like, we should have got better results, no doubt.
But again, when you go back, we talk about Celtic having that style, playing McGregor, like, you look at Scotland and go, what are, something like you say about Rangers, like, what is their style?
I think like the kind of change, and it's more adaptable Scotland style, I'd say, because they were different against Switzerland than they were against Germany. Like Germany, against Switzerland, I actually thought Scotland were pretty good.
Best performance,
especially the first sort of half an hour, getting after the ball, McTominay playing higher and just sort of
even the Hungary one, we kind of worked on thinking Hungary were going to come and just go toe to toe.
They just sat in, didn't they? Full game.
5 minutes in, like, just sat off and we're like, what's going on?
What we doing?
What's going on here?
What we doing?
Just not.
That was strange, actually.
No, we've been practicing use having it.
Use it.
Please, go on.
Even free kicks and that, like, they were just shelling it in the box.
They were proper direct.
They were almost not giving a fuck, weren't they?
Nah, it's...
They win as well, go through.
So they did.
Didn't start right.
So it was, we were, that was a badging. Sitting next to Kev, steaming, mate. Oh, badging. Right, away from Scotland, Killie lose 3-0 to St Johnstone and Aberdeen beat St Mirren 3-1. You boys will know how is it the Thursday football that's having an effect on these two teams?
It does seem like the last few years as well, teams do seem to struggle. I don't know whether they've got the squads that can can deal with it. I know, not every team, but it does seem, I think, the last few years that teams whoever's in Europe does struggle in the league. That being said, with Kamala, they start at Parkhead, and then they get a guy sent off.
What is Joe Wright doing? What I will say is, right, what Joe Wright did for the second booking, what's the ref booking him for the first booking? He's not like, he's towed the ball 5 yards, man.
Aye, I know.
And you're on a booking as a right centre back, fucking
2 minutes into the game as well. Charlotte, man, I know.
But that's what does my tits on the referees, mate. Like, somebody else will do that next week and they'll not get booked for it.
Aye, there's no consistency.
And then Joe can't do it to the rest of the game, mate, which he shouldn't go over again like that, but then he can't actually do it, and do you know what I mean? Because he's got that booting. So I do feel a wee bit for Killie, but I'm not surprised. I thought, Van Veen leaving and Greg Stewart, I thought that last year, I thought that's what was good, that they'll get into Europe with a squad like that. I thought they would have had that, get into that, they could have changed it.
Well, if Killie played on grass, you'd be there now, wouldn't you? Dale would have been there in a minute, mate, innit? Have you spoke to Dale now?
He's been in touch. Aye. I've always kept in touch with Dale, to be fair.
Great guy, isn't he?
Aye, top.
Tony Dock as well?
Aye, keep in touch with Dock as well.
I tell you what, I know we'll get on to them.
Tipped him for fourth, mate. Not a bad shout.
Aye, don't spunk your load.
I didn't know it because I'm quite reactive, but fucking good team, isn't they?
Oh, aye, they've looked good. See, before with Killie as well, though, like, you're talking about teams dealing with Europe on a Thursday, Saturday. Killie's not got the squad that Rangers and Celtic have got when they play in Europe, and the injuries, they've actually got a few injuries to start the season off. But most of that's a bit harsh, but a lot of their success was built on Vassell and Watkins up front. Watkins is obviously, he's just been back, he was on the bench at the weekend there, but he's massive for them, especially because, like you said, he's not really signed many. They just kind of retained the boys that
were there.
They had for last year, that were going out of contract.
Tell you what, St Johnson's front two like a handful, didn't they?
Oh, mate, they are.
Isn't they?
Aye, they are. The boys at DB against us last game of the season last year was ridiculous.
Was he not?
Honestly. So good.
He got a good touch in that as well, didn't he?
He's rapid. Rapid.
I like that.
See, just going back on the Dundee one, they weren't excellent, but I can't work out when Naismith went to the free at the back.
That's madness, isn't it?
And then, by the way, it's actually good journalism for one of the boys at the end. They actually asked him, why did you change? But he said it was nothing to do with that. And you're 3-0 down, and then at half time, he goes back to the 4.
I do think Naismith misunderstood the question.
He did.
Because he said he was talking about the changes he made at half time, but the guy was obviously talking about
why he
changes
did
at the start.
He's like,
because we're 3-0
the changes
down.
at half time actually did make a difference. You know what I mean? So he was right. But
so they asked him, like, what was your reason for the changes? Obviously for 4-3-8. And he was like, because we're 3-0 down.
That's unreal.
Then he start the game 3-0 down.
But why did they change? Did they get a really good performance?
Mate, he's a player.
Danda was brilliant, and he's sitting on the bench. I don't get that. I'm surprised at it.
To be fair, he said he was carrying something, didn't he?
Oh,
He never said at the start of the season.
Oh, right. But then he's spittle.
But can I tell you something? See when I seen Hearts' team come through, I was like, that bench,
mate, how strong is that?
Hell, mate. Hearts' bench is a joke, mate. Like, proper quality through it. Like, their squad, I'd be amazed if they don't finish third this year.
Really? Are they still?
Amazed,
just because of the strength of their squad?
Mate, their bench was a joke.
I look at Hearts' bench at the weekend and think every one of them play for Aberdeen. Not every one of them, but 4 or 5 of them start for Aberdeen for me. Definitely.
Just some Scottish football in it up, but everyone's buzzing off the right back and he goes and has an absolute
Should have got a straight red and then he kicked the bunny team goal.
Mate, that was up there one of the worst performances I've seen, man.
He was a joke last week.
Rangers not signing guys like that. Next week, absolute torrid, man.
He was a joke last week, though.
That was a shocker, mate.
Every pundit in the corner, have a Rangers not signing the right back. That's why honking.
That's a bit hard.
No, that is hard. But see the fact, do you know, I think Aberdeen could maybe sneak into that third just on the basis that Hearts have got this busy schedule. Because Aberdeen look good, mate, don't they?
I think Aberdeen will be up there, definitely.
Then Miofsky, he's gone into
I do think the squads will make a difference in the end, for me, personally.
But Aberdeen will still, I think they'll still bring a couple in, won't they?
Well, I think Aberdeen will finish 4th. So it's like, I'm not suggesting for a minute that I think they'll be, obviously, as poor as they were last year in terms of where they won in the league, but I just look at the Hearts' squad, man. You're talking about dealing with Europe. If they're not in a position to deal with Europe now, they'll never be. It's the strength and depth they got. But Hearts' squad's massive. Like, you're talking about teams bringing in players. I think Hearts will be more players leaving with how big their squad is.
See, when you were at Hearts, did Nazy change the shape quite a lot from game to game?
Aye, did, to be fair.
See, he's a player, he's alright with it.
I never really played much, obviously under Nazy, but Robbie Nielsen was the world's worst, mate, for it.
Was he changing?
He would change it. See if he started poor, first 10 minutes, he'd change the shape straight away. It's like, let's settle into the game, man.
Just gains 20 minutes.
How are you with players?
But see, if he started a game bad, boom, change the shape straight away.
See, as a player, that was my. I had a manager that did it all the time, mate, and he used to do my tits in.
It would frustrate me probably because I'm the one that would get sacrificed in terms of positions. Know what I mean? I'd
play left wing back.
I'd start the game centre mid, and then after 10 minutes, like, right, left wing back.
Graveyard shift.
Fucking hell.
Back to the graveyard.
Right, diamond, left to the diamond, I'm out. Fucking.
Don't work on it all week. Diamond, left to the diamond.
Mate, the left or right of diamonds, the worst. You're fucking everywhere, aren't you?
But mate, he'll tell you more than anyone. Like, see Gerrard's narrow. See the outside of the three with Gerrard's system.
How hard yous worked, mate. That was ridiculous.
What do you mean the outside of the?
So they would play the narrow free midfield, but the narrow three attackers.
You need to shuffle across like the
mid ones.
So if the full backs, but
so in Europe, mate, away from home, you just used to go.
Aye.
Oh, you've done that so well. Who is it? You and
Davo and Glenn.
You're so good at that, actually, but
Kent would just kind of stay in that pocket when you want it back, just and he'd go.
Then we worked on that, didn't we? It was like as soon as you win the ball back, first pass always forward.
Aye.
Kenny in the half turn.
If you win it left hand side, your first pass is right 10. You know what I mean? Look forward, the opposite side, because
he's going to be in that pocket.
He'll be in that pocket. Chances are the left back might be advanced or centre halves deep or whatever.
And also gives to have time to see that pass happening, and he's high to support it.
Whereas if you win it the left hand side, you put a straight pass. It's like an easy jump for that. So you'd obviously the opposite 10. You know
and then he also had a rule like if that wasn't on, like you get to like 5-10 passes. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, all right. So if that first pass wasn't on, then keep it for 5 or 10.
Keep it for 5.
Aye.
Love that.
Always.
Interesting that, isn't it?
Amazing detail, mate.
Always.
What was it you used to say? When you used to work on it, he would say something, wouldn't he? I can't remember what it was. But it would be something along the lines of, like, get to 5, like something. So if the first pass, somebody didn't pass it forward, but right now get to 5.
5, right.
So what, 5? Boys, what, tap teacher 5 times. Quick 5 tap before you can go forward.
Just went 2, 3, 4 back.
That's the worst, that, isn't it?
But I'm absolutely happy that, how do you say his name?
Thelin.
Is doing well. I like it. Aberdeen's thinking a manager that's been successful somewhere else, then bring him into this country, bring something new, different. I hope he does really well so that.
I actually really like listening. They said that about he was the devil. I actually really like listening to him talking.
Supposedly him and Jim Leighton were in a nightclub till 4 in the morning Saturday. Vaseline on his eyebrows.
On his shoulders, wasn't he?
He's not boring, mate.
I really like him, but the big worry for me is, and it's going to happen, it looks like Miovski's away to Girona, doesn't it?
But he never started Saturday, Miovski.
No, I know, but I just mean...
And they were good in pre-season without Miovski as well.
Aye. But I just think throughout the season, he's top class.
They'll probably bring somebody in, wouldn't they, you'd imagine.
Again, great bit of business in it, £7 million. Brought him in for what, 5?
Is that confirmed? 7
looks like it's going to be around about 7. Girona have sold so many. They're bringing in some dogs though. Girona. I like Big Boy Romo, remember Big Boy Oriel Romo?
Barca?
Rebel.
Wait, that's a bad sign,
The big, do you mean Big Baldy game? Was it
the big Doberman?
She's double, by the way. He said that, and so is wee Brian Gill.
Wee Brian McLaughlin.
No, see wee Brian
Gill for Spurs.
No way. So they've got Champions League and they've let their main players go. I'm obviously going to be. You'll see me a lot in Europe this year, doing a lot. So just give me a bit there.
It does look like a Scottish dad abroad in Europe, doesn't it? When he's going out at night. He's going out at night. Right, talk about Aberdeen.
Roll his sleeves up. He's got that barbed wire tattoo on his shoulder, isn't he? That big barbed wire with a Scotland flag and the thistle.
Rampant line on the other arm.
That's a badgie for me, man, isn't it?
Jacko, you came through Aberdeen. What was that like? Is it upbringing? Were you right back growing up? Am I right in saying that?
Aye.
What the fuck played you at right back?
Played right back, centre half, centre mid, right mid, everywhere.
And did you like it?
Gets to a point you think I need to find a position. Do you know what I mean? That suits me, and probably Dell was the one that came in and like I think you're a centre mid. I want to build a team around you. So Fidel, that's where it sort of started.
Were you always like the next best thing coming through at Aberdeen, or were you just?
No, there was a few. There was me, Peter Pollitt.
He was brilliant. Hadn't we? Because
Is
he still playing
against me? No.
Peterhead.
Is it?
Had to change his second name to Peter Brown.
I do.
No, you don't.
I do.
Did you play against each other?
We used to have some battles, aye. We used to have some battles. But I never...
So would you be left wing and you'd be right back?
Right back, aye.
You want to say that you're in stuff, didn't you? I can tell.
Do you know what? The top of my head, I've always wanted to go to the bet of Aberdeen right back. I wasn't totally sure if it was yours though at the time.
I was sitting mid down. I was
Pollock was brilliant.
Loved Peter.
He just glide by players.
Yeah.
He was excellent coming through.
He should have done better, Peter. No, that he never had a great career, but I thought he should have.
I thought he would have went, aye, no, you're spot on, aye.
I think he's a Peter Heaton now, isn't he?
So he is.
Aye.
Decent deal there.
5 as well.
5 good player.
Came through with 5.
He broke through like proper
Aye,
5 years
aye,
old, didn't he,
14 in
Aberdeen?
the first team, wasn't he? At 5 he was good, mate. So would you just compete with Celtic and Rangers and youth teams and stuff like that?
Aye. Obviously, it was like youth cup and that was always Rangers Celtic, wasn't it? But as in coming through, obviously Kenny McLean, I know he was in our youth team, but then he moved on to Rangers at the time.
Oh really? So technically started at Aberdeen?
Aye.
Did he, right?
Aye.
There you go.
So I had some youth team, but that was the thing at Aberdeen, like you always had a chance, you know what I mean, to get to the first team. There was always a pathway where you'd seen like 2 or 3 boys make it through, so you always had that wee hope that you'd get it.
Who was the manager that brought you into the first team?
Jimmy Calderwood, actually. So I would have been like, I think it was 15, 16.
Found out you're a Rangers fan, didn't he? That's why you got in the first team.
He loved it, didn't he?
He loved it, didn't he?
Jimmy Nick as well.
Oh, what a guy, Jimmy Nick. He's one of my favourite interviews I've done.
Aye, they
15 years old?
they brought us in, they brought us in, train with the first team. I never played, but I used to train, it was like Big Langers, Scott Severin, Xander Diamond, Chris Maguire. So I was like 15, 16, get to go and train with the first team, you're like, that's amazing, do you know what I mean?
But you know, similar to us, we all talk about how nervous you were going to take the first team.
Aye.
Were you the same?
Aye.
Why was that? Were they quite hard in terms of critical?
Aye. Scott Severin, man, he was ruthless. Don't even remember Scott Severin.
Good player, Scott Severin.
Centre mid, aye, brilliant.
Used to be like 15, 16, got to train him and give the ball away, he'd be like right on you.
But it does help you that, mate, though, doesn't it?
No,
It gives you a good grounding.
The
That.
thing is that you know for a fact that the young boys these days don't have that same fear, do they?
No.
At all.
No.
Wink at you know that now, mate.
Aye, they're
Handshakes and that.
Handshake, wink
they're
at you
trying to
now.
banter you in that.
Alright, mate.
Oh, definitely.
What about anyone that took you under the wing, first team players?
Not really. I think Mark Kerr was obviously, I used to do Mark Kerr's boots, and he was obviously a centre mid, so he used to look after me in that, but nobody really like take you under the wing, but always knew that it was a tough changing room, do you know what I mean? If you were a young boy coming in, you had to hold your own in training, you had to obviously have a bit of personality or you would just get swallowed up, do you know what I mean?
Who gives you your debut, mate?
Mark McGee, so obviously Aberdeen qualified for Europe at the time and they sacked Calderwood and gave it to McGee.
How did you find working under him?
Enjoyed it, I think.
He actually played really well. Sorry, mate, seemed like I was at Motherwell with Big Dingus. His football was excellent.
Big Dingus.
His
It didn't go too well though, to be fair.
No, you're right. It didn't work.
But
It didn't go well. It didn't go well.
Talk us through the debut.
I love this.
Fascinated to hear like, how soon do you know you're playing?
It was actually against Rangers as well, Pittodrie.
Wow.
I didn't even know, just on the bench, you know what I mean? You're on the bench, you're thinking, like, feeling sick as a dog, like, I could get on here, do you know what I mean? And then when you get told, you're like...
How long ago when he tells you you're going on?
When they tell you warm up,
it's more when you warm up. It tells you to warm up, man, you feel like jelly-legged and that, you're like, what's going on? But it's hard to actually remember back, because I think you're just that, like, on a high, do you know what I mean?
Did they tell you what, like, to go and warm up while you were on the bench, or was it one of the ones where you're behind the goal and they're doing that?
And you're
Looking at the guy next to you.
She's talking
No, it was one of them, like, he turned round and was like, three years go warm up.
Any
Then-
three or were you?
No, she's like
Jack-
told the 3 years to go warm up and straight away you're like one of these are going on.
He's putting you on. No, the try to convince yourself it's somebody else is going on. That's brutal, man. And then do you get the shout? You're going on.
Aye, get the shout, you're going on, but
How long was it, mate?
it's like 20 minutes.
You could
15,
shit
20
everywhere
minutes.
running back down that touchline, couldn't you?
Oh,
your ass
my.
could just open up,
Aye.
mate. That feeling.
How many times you like try to tie your lace or something and they jog back? My lace are undone.
I'm sure.
Getting boys to hide your shinies and that, innit? Just desperate.
I'm sure.
I never want to come on before 70 minutes, did you?
No, you want 90, didn't you?
70 is a perfect time to come on 20 minutes.
I'm sure Juve was playing.
For Rangers?
Juve, aye. So I'm sure I came on like that young boy buzzing, like coming out trying to smash somebody, do you know what I mean? And he's just got the ball, I've ran to press him, he's passed it and he's just like looked at me.
What a piece of dirt.
It felt.
What
Have you tried to give him like
I've
give
tried
him
a wee
as
nibble.
pasta?
He's passed it when he just turned around and looked at me, and that's like.
What was the score in the game?
Can't remember. We got beat, like, but I can't
Did you
remember.
do alright? Did you get a touch?
Couple of touches.
That's the worry in it though.
Was
If
it
you
just
don't get
safety, safety touches?
As soon as you get the ball, man, you're like, get somebody 5 yards away.
I think like, as much as you worry about your debut when you're young, I say this all the time to like younger boys, like there's no expectation on you, I think.
Nah.
Like, just keep
Enjoy
it
it.
simple, do you know what I mean? You just keep it simple and pass it 5 yards. People are coming after saying you had a brilliant debut
Aye.
because you'd never done anything wrong, do you know what I mean?
that is the, making your debut is the best feeling in the world, though, isn't it?
Aye.
See after it, there's no buzz like that.
No.
Isn't there?
Aye, yeah, that's good, aye.
You don't
Depends
seem
how
to
it
be
goes.
enjoying it too much.
Well, my debut, we could be 5-2. So then come off like that, it was unreal.
And then Dale comes in. Is that when Aberdeen career properly kick-started?
Aye.
Did he come in and like you straight away, Dale?
Aye. Came in and obviously done pre-season, few conversations, and just said, look, I want to build a team around you.
What age were you then?
Must have been about 22,
Right.
21, 22.
brilliant,
Isn't
isn't it?
here, that,
Aye.
right?
Him and Doc, so aye, just build a team around you. But Dell was brilliant. The recruitment Dell done year after year.
Aye, because they would always lose like 2 or 3 good players, wouldn't they? And then just replace them with
So I've seen
Two feet
that
are
first under Craig and Archie. There've been like Stephen Hughes and Gavin Ray,
Good players.
Paul Hartley before that as well.
Wow.
And then you're talking Willow Flood, Barry Robson, and then Kenny, Shinnie, myself. So
What was it? Were you not fighting? Did you not fight Willow one day?
aye.
What happened?
Leathered him. Nah, Willow's like angry guy every day. And playing Ross County, I think we're up like 2-0 or something at home. And just get the ball, turn out, pass it to Willow like 5 yards away. Guy comes, fucking smashes him or something. And he turns into me and he's like, fucking give me the ball quicker. And I'm like, Willow, like, relax man, we're 2-0 up. Like, I've just tried to give you the ball. And he's like, getting it one of them. So I'm like, but I was fiery when I was young as well. So I was like, who are you talking to? So 2 years, mid the game's going on, 2 years are squaring up on the pitch. Bayfields get booked. Try to headbutt each other, Bayfields get booked.
Did you?
Willow was a proper money guy when he was.
He was.
Great guy, but a money bastard.
But then obviously I was just like, played the rest of the half, forgot about it. So go in, man, he's coming in at half time, but Willow just can't leave it, do you know what I mean? Steam's coming to his ears, comes in the change room, he's swinging, and Dale grabbed him and launched him across the change room. But Willow's a great guy. Great guy.
Was that team always? It was ultra competitive, even training, wasn't it?
Aye. That was like him and Robbo training every day.
Robbo's the same.
But even like day before a game, it was like 7 asides. You've got a game the next day, and like Willow and Robbo and that just run about smashing everyone. Like Dale and Docker at the side just piss himself laughing.
Brilliant, isn't it?
What is so special with Dale? You've done it with you, done it with Lewis first, and it looks like he's going to be doing it with the young boy Killie as well, Watson. What is it so good about him?
Well, I think he knows how to identify who he likes as a player, do you know what I mean, first and foremost, and then it's how you treat them.
Yeah.
How you treat that player, how you speak to them, how you give them the belief to go and play every week at a young age. And he's one of the best at doing that.
What would you just say? You just think you're a top player? Like, would you tell?
I would just say, like, I watch and train every day. You're a top player, just go and do it every week. Go and play, be free, don't worry about getting the ball away, don't worry about anything else, just go and play.
Did he make you captain?
Aye.
What age you get? What age you get? Aberdeen captain?
I think it was 22, 23.
Wow, and there's big players like Willow and Robbo in the team, and he gives you the captaincy.
Aye.
You remember him giving you it when he told you?
I actually remember it, because I think he was like, oh, what give you a new deal, what make you captain.
What, a phone call, sorry, or to pull you in?
No, in the office, aye. But at the time, you're still like big characters in the change room and that, and you're like, what make you captain? Straight away, you're like what's going on here?
Wow. Was there anything for you to go like, I don't know if I'm ready for that, or did you just take it straight away?
Nah, straight away I was like, aye, course, like, because I was that type of character anyway, do you know what I mean? I thought, aye, I'll take it and see how it goes. But obviously, you know, you've got characters to help you in the change room, do you know what I mean? You're not just taking it yourself at 22, 23 with no experience with you, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some responsibility that, mate.
That is.
I always think with Derek McInnes, we talk about it all the time. You always look at like his recruitment, right? See the major bulk of his recruitment, it's always boys that have done well in the league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look at Killie, the boys he's signed, it's like your Marley Watkins and your Kennedys and your D's and your Finleys bringing him back, and McGuinness for Hibs. Like, you always he always just signs boys that have done well in Scottish football, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then
Even
he'll get
Aberdeen.
your 2-3 sort of drip fed for Europe or elsewhere.
Even
to come
Aberdeen,
in.
you had like Shinnie, Dunwell and Inverness, Kenny at St Mirren, Adam Rooney, Johnny Hayes.
Aye.
So it was all players that he knew and he's watched and thought they can play the way I want to play. Do you know what I mean?
You were excellent that year. That was the year I was at Dundee. I remember playing that Aberdeen team.
Did you play against him?
He was very good.
Did you get near him?
No, I was fucking...
Again? Another player you're not getting near?
Playing the
Fucking
list
hell,
goes on,
man.
innit?
Fuck's sake, you're
What about some of your favourite players that you played at Aberdeen?
Probably the ones I've named. Shinnie, Kenny, Adam Rooney. Adam Rooney was a top guy.
Great guy.
Aye.
Can't
Good
control
team,
the ball,
innit?
but great guy.
Johnny Hayes, obviously great character, Johnny. Loves a night out. Aye, some great characters. And as I touched on, like the players that I obviously played with from our age right through to when Dell got the job, and then Dell recruited even Ryan Christie, James Madison.
Wow.
Dell recruited them as well, do you know what I mean?
Who's the best out of them? Just one name.
Ability wise, at the time, James Madison by a mile. Aye.
Could you tell who's got the top of
No to what he's done, I don't think. It's hard to obviously say at that age,
Yeah,
but
that's a joke, wasn't it?
in training, man, like 5-a-sides and that, like I think any of the boys that was in that team will tell you, like, couldn't get near him.
What was he like as a guy?
He was having himself. Aye.
It seems like that, didn't
Ryan Christie was brilliant at
Oh,
Aberdeen,
what
wasn't he?
Ryan Christie.
Aye, that year.
I love that.
He was, he had a joke a year. Did Celtic no sign him then loan him back?
Loan him back,
Aye.
that's right.
Aye.
He was very good.
Tell me if you've heard the story that Graham Shinnie told
No,
me.
I've not.
Mate, that's easily top 3. Your McGregor one's probably the best, but that's top 3 stories, mate.
Is that in the top?
You tell it?
Aye, just.
Were you involved? Were you part of it? You did it?
I was in the change room at the time. I wasn't part of it, but. Wes Burns got like chocolates delivered. I think it was his agent who got chocolates and champagne delivered. And he's like, oh, I've got my neighbour walks the dog every day, so I can go to training, whatever it was. And Kenny and Johnny took the chocolates, it obviously replaced the chocolate with a bit of shite, rolled it up, put it back in,
And he's getting these chocolates.
and
to
they
the
put it
neighbour.
back up above his locker, so he thinks, oh, like, brilliant, neighbour's going to be buzzing. And so one day we come in, the thing's gone, chocolate champagne's gone. So we're like, at the time, I think I was captain at the time, I'm like, boys, like, he's going to tell him, like, some pretty woman's going to be back. So eventually the boys have said to him, look, like, they've been tampered with, like, you need to get them back. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? They were like, nah, like, you need to get them back. So he's had to go to the door, I think, and say to her, like, you need to give them back. And she's like, no, like, I'm sure it's fine and that. And he's like, no, like,
Had
There's a shite in there.
no.
Oh, mate,
mate,
imagine
imagine
that.
she did it, man.
Oh, that's
You
fucking genius.
were at Tenerife when we done Griggsy with the
aye.
thing, weren't you?
Oh, were you there when that happened?
I was sitting there, aye.
So who's it? You, Griggsy, is it full team? Or is it only a couple
Yeah,
of
that's what,
I remember Waldo was
Muff,
there.
no?
Muff was
Muff.
there.
Were you in tears?
Scotty,
Jimbo?
aye.
I can't remember.
With a few drinks and all, didn't we, by then?
Oh, well
like,
gone.
So you can imagine when you've had a few as well, man.
What was your favourite part of the whole thing?
The volleys, when you've said...
I
No. The Sky Sports News, man. That was the
Sky
best.
Sports News, class.
So how long after you
Well,
said
he's
it?
dressed up as a Smurf, but no. He's dressed up as a Smurf.
So is it just as he's woke up you've texted him, or was he?
No,
was
but
he
we're
sleeping when you texted him?
we were out all day,
we're
went
at
back
the
to
pool party
hotel.
all day, aye. So
Back to
the
hotel,
pool party, you fell asleep at, that's when it all started.
And you've texted him while he's sleeping?
No, I think he was awake at this point, wasn't
Oh, he's away, and then you text her. Hey.
Took the picture
But
with
but
the
you
stick.
changed his name to what? You're in Walter Smith
Changed
now?
my name on his phone to Walter Smith, aye.
That is
I'm
fucking
texting him.
genius, isn't it?
That was
Just the reaction.
Was he like standing up
How
with it?
stupid is he as well? So it's like, he's so doty, mate. Do you know what I mean? He's like, no. Couldn't believe it. That guy's not right, man.
Any other stories like that, Aberdeen, or was that the main one?
Aye, that's probably the main one, but some changing room, to be fair. And that's what Dell done. He recruited the right people. Do you know what I mean?
They got involved as well, didn't they, Del and
Aye.
Tony Dock?
Aye.
Always involved in the banter.
Aye.
Was it the Beale? He had the Beale. He was one of the first to have the Beale,
Aye,
wasn't
the
he?
wheel, aye.
That's in every dressing
What's
room
the
in
wheel?
Scotland, eh?
So you kind of get a fine, take your fine, or you spin the wheel, man.
Aye.
What was on the wheel? What was on the wheel?
Just like different fines. I think one of them was like you had to do a lap of the pitch like naked or something.
Love that.
That's brilliant, that, isn't
Like a song or a dance.
Aye.
Like,
But Dell used to do the sprints every day for every game. Sprints. That used to be the worst part because loser of the sprints had to sing the next week
Oh,
in training in front of other boys. Man, that was the worst part.
Who done the naked lap?
I can't remember. There's a few young boys. As soon as young boys fine, man, you're like, spin the wheel, didn't even get the option.
Brilliant, man. You'd be trying to hand on that every time, wouldn't you? Right, other games for the weekend. Dundee beat Hearts, as we said, 3-0. Dundee conceded elite-wise in the last minute to concede against Ross County.
Good game.
It would have been a great start for Dundee United if they won that game, wouldn't they?
But what about the start of the game?
Oh my God, man.
Mate.
Why does the boy not just put it on himself? I know they're kenning the young boy for missing it, but...
Or plate to the young boy earlier.
Yeah.
Actually, before he takes it,
before there's 4 guys on the goal line.
Aye. And it actually bobbles as well though, Andy, before he has to score it, but it's a slight wee bobble, I think, just before he hits it. I love that young boy.
Miller Thompson.
Aye.
Good player.
Full of energy as well.
Montrose last year.
I can't believe though that Ross County have worked on like what every team in the world do now is like launched the ball off a kick off into the corner, but have not told anyone to block 2 strikers as a run to the centre half, man.
At Killie as well.
And it nearly goes in.
St Johnstone nearly did it.
St Johnstone block that, go and it nearly goes in.
See that start as well, and he says, stop, keep the ball, you kicking the ball. Pass the ball to each other. Honestly, man.
Battle for 20 minutes.
Wait, has that ever worked? Has that ever worked that someone's came for that?
That's a thing though, even when I was young growing up, I've all heard it. First 20 minutes, it's a battle.
That first 20 minutes.
I actually remember playing a game, I don't know if you were there at the time, at Ibrox and Celtic.
Oh, but Celtic
and they
turned
just
and
shelled
zigged at
it.
the
It was Lenny just shelled it right in the
Didn't
corner.
even take kick off, he just...
No,
I think
mate,
was it Edward?
Edward started with the ball, right?
He just kicked it straight at the pitch.
And was facing that way. Like, what's he facing that way for?
Straight to the pitch.
And he just done that, wank right into the corner,
And we
mate,
were
just
all like,
clubbed it into the corner. But it was after he done it, I remember they just all ran to the corner.
What was the worst decision for Nazy? You got a back three or to wear a Leyland Scott hoodie on the side of the pitch?
Mate, I thought Lion Scott was gone. I
So
used to
I
be
thought
at
it was-
secondary.
Eh?
I used to be a Lion Scott in secondary school.
Where do you still get Leyland
Aye,
Scott
I
from?
thought
There's
that-
not a Leyland Scott shop anywhere, is there?
That's long gone. You get them in outlets and that, maybe.
He's TK Maxx,
TK
innit?
Maxx, aye. It's a bad decision. But
Is that bad?
The Coxball teeth bag on behind him and all, didn't he? Strapped up like that. Mate, Lion Scott, I've not seen Lion Scott for years, aye.
he gets that rang though. I know we spoke about it, but he does. He gets that rang for me, the three at the back.
And again, Spittle not getting a lot of game time, eh?
That's what I'm saying. If Dander was struggling, I'd have just put Spittle in.
Spittle in.
But I think they will have that type of... I think Hearts have done that for the last 2-3 years, to be honest, mate. I think it wouldn't be any different this year, where you'll have maybe 2 or 3, like your Shanklins, your Kent,
That'll play all the
play
time.
every week, and then the rest, mate.
That
Like, they
Kent
will
always looks
rotate for
shattered,
fun.
mate. He's always got bags
Aye,
under his
bag
eyes.
eyes,
Doesn't he?
isn't he?
He's always got he looks fucked. But he obviously does well. Again, Shanklin too far away for the goal for me. Just didn't get why he's not the line. Did I get
I
it?
thought, did they not play up front?
Kept dropping in all the
Aye,
time,
dropped
mate.
deep. Dropping deep.
Play up. You're brilliant up there.
No, well, I know what you mean, aye.
Because we spoke about it, didn't we? That Dander, Spittle would play that 10 role, like they would be brought in to play that 10 role.
Aye.
Aye.
And not one of them have played there.
What I will say is, like, Shanks is that, like, at Hearts, when they play the Old Firm, so obviously Rangers at home,
Aye, get it against
always
Rangers,
plays in the 10, because they
they've
always
got
play
the pace
somebody
up top,
with pace
I
up
get
front,
that.
aye.
But in these games against Dundee, get Shanklin the highest man closest to the goal now.
Aye. But Shanks' link-up plays very good, to be fair. Very, very
No,
good.
I get-
But
definitely
obviously,
get that.
his main threat is when he's in the box.
Been impressed with Dundee. I'm going into Dundee United. I've been really impressed with their signings.
Well, here's another thing, right? I want your opinion on this. McCowan and Cameron are better players than Cammy Devlin. Don't know if that's a
McKeown's brilliant, mate. McKeown's very
Take
good.
2 of them over Cammy Devlin for Hearts.
They're both brilliant at the weekend, to be fair.
Great players, mate.
Aye, McKeown's excellent.
But again,
It'd be
it's
some
because they're
sign-
playing in
it'd
a
be some
system
sign
to
for
that
Hibs
it
if that
suits
suits
them,
them,
doesn't it? See if they were playing for a manager with the ball lumped up the pitch all the time, they wouldn't look as good as they look. I think that with Aberdeen as well. See McGrath this year?
Aye.
He looks brilliant this year,
Aye, he does
Jamie
look
McGrath,
really good,
doesn't
doesn't he? He
What a
started
difference when you're
brilliant.
actually
Even the
putting
way-
these guys into teams that play football.
Aye.
Even the way Dundee have like Silla behind, didn't they?
Aye.
So it's like Silla behind and just let they two charge on and
Aye.
got on the ball.
McKeown will be some signing for Hibs if Hibs get him.
I can't see him going there, can you?
I could, aye, to be honest with you.
So see if you're like McCowan, why would you want, I know I talk about money, right, but you get that money done, so why would you want to leave a team that's going to battle to finish fourth to go to a team that look like they kind of get in the top 6?
He's going to at least double his money, isn't he?
But see Dundee, right, is this not a case of Dundee going like that, what they've done with Simon Murray? They've obviously given Simon Murray a right good whack to go, let's just go and give like McCowan the same deal as Simon Murray.
Aye.
Captain that
He's
as
so
well,
important to
isn't he?
them, aye.
So important, mate. Dundee go give him what he needs to stay, because you're building something good there, isn't it?
No, definitely.
They
They've been
look
so
good, aye.
impressive again. Yeah.
Right, signing for Rangers. Who wants to ask?
Was it Pedro? Was it Pedro that signed?
Aye.
How does that? So
Pedro,
see then, was there any other offers, or was it when you know Rangers, you're like, I want to go there?
There was a couple doing South, aye.
Can you say who now?
one of them was like, I think it was Barnsley. I actually met, it was Heckingbottom. Heckingbottom was the manager at the time.
Barnsley was who I spoke to before Rangers Leaving. She's trying to sign Rangers Scottish guy in the world.
It was Heckingbottom, so I actually met him. He was very good, to be fair. And then,
Maybe a really good coach, mate, innit? So see, when you met him, were you impressed with what he...
Aye.
What was it in terms of how he spoke about the game?
It was in a hotel, big presentation on the screen and that.
Was it?
Aye, superb, aye.
What about how they were going to play and where he sees you
Aye.
playing in that?
Aye.
Love that.
That's good, innit?
Like
I
the
like
detail in that was incredible.
It was in a hotel room though, you said, wasn't it?
My dad was a porter.
Pedro never done that, surely.
Nah, Pedro's rang me up.
Pedro just had to say Rangers, innit? For you,
What was your first impression to him?
I thought he was a madman. Like
Right away.
aye, like the way he spoke and that, you thought he's a madman. But I loved him. To be fair, I loved him. He was good with me. He obviously signed me, so treated me good in that. And obviously it didn't go well for him.
So when do you first speak to him? Who comes to you first and says Rangers are want to take you?
It was my agent. My agent said
you just sitting in
it was
the house
close at the end of the season.
Right, you
It was
just sitting in
close
the
at
house,
And aye, just sitting in the house. He just rang me up and said, look, I think Rangers want to sign you. Well, there's a chance that Rangers want to sign you. The manager might want to ring you. Because I was out of contract, he was like, the manager might want to ring you, have a conversation, see what you think. I was like, aye, no worries, just give him my number.
And then how long after that conversation does Pedro phone you? A couple of days or straight
Aye,
away?
it was like a couple of days, and then he just rang me saying, I think we played it that weekend, he was at the game, or he watched the game or whatever, and he was just like, look, I watched the game at the weekend, I watched how you play, you'd suit how I want to play in that at Rangers, like, would you want to come? It was like, aye. Just, to be fair, it was just one of the conversations. I would see you fitting in here or there or whatever, and when I came I spoke to my agent, and then aye, got done.
That's the story where you see where they won with him in the bush. That's incredible, isn't it? With that,
Kenny Miller.
I wasn't there. I was
Kenny
there.
Miller.
Kenny.
Kenny Miller told it on you.
Aye.
He's the one that went and dragged him at the bush, didn't he?
Kenny was saying, I just turned he's in a bush.
Aye. We were on the bus. Generally, we were on the bus.
So what's your
Our
memories
team
of that
bus.
game, right? So the game finishes.
So we won-
Did you
we
go
won-
off his nut half after the game?
We won the home leg. It was like 1-0, and I think obviously we lost the away leg, got put out. And like, boys, like, obviously my second game, like, changing room was upside down, like, all sorts of boys want to leave, like, Pedro bringing in all sorts of foreign.
Penna and all that.
Aye, Candeas, Bruno, Buff,
Dalcio.
Dalcio, aye, so Herrera, he wanted to bring in all his foreign boys, change rooms upside down, get put out, and then we're on the bus, and like, just see all the security and that, like, shouting over, and turn around, he's in the bush arguing with fans.
Aye, hip high in the bushes.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Couldn't even see his trousers.
But he had a bit about him, Pedro, like.
What,
He was fiery, aye, he was fiery,
Would
definitely.
he be like that with players as well?
Aye.
Would he?
Aye.
What, he'd like have a proper go at you?
Aye. I like boys, if he would ask you and you have a bit back, he'd have a bit right back with you, like ding dong.
Would he?
Aye.
Did you ever hear that one?
Nah, I didn't.
he
to be
like
fair.
you?
I had
Aye.
about 8.
Did you? Mate?
Oh, aye, type.
What, in front of players?
Aye.
Aye.
Can you remember what they were about? Just about like.
I don't know if do you remember the one? It was a Friday before a game against Celtic, and he was shaping up Celtic in a
Aye.
3-5-2.
Aye.
I was like, I never played 3-5-2. I was like, I need to say something here. I was in the jobbies, so I wasn't playing. I was like, Pedro, I told Gaffer, I was like, Celtic don't play a 3-5-2. And he's like, you questioning me in front of the players? I was like, aye, because they don't play a 3-5-2. He sent me in. Sure enough, Celtic play 4-3-3 like they did for the previous 6 years the next day. So I don't know what the fuck you were watching for the last 3 weeks, but they never played a 3-5-2.
Away you in. It's 3-5-2, alright? Tom Boyd's told us, I've been speaking at Boydie, they're changing it for us.
I remember once as well. You would have been there as well. Do you remember when they accused me?
Away you in, I love that.
Mate, he sent me in. He's like, go in, question me in front of the players. I'm like, no worries, mate. Do you remember the meeting where when they accused me, Waldo and Kenny Miller of leaking the team?
Aye.
Mate, they accused us of leaking the team every week. But that's been a thing at Rangers for the last 10 years, innit? Every year somebody gets questioned about leaking teams. Like, oh.
And did you, Kenny,
Still the new, mate.
Kenny and Waldo like go back at him straight away? Like?
We were just straight away like that, like.
You can't even say that to players.
Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? I think it all started because like it was before an Old Firm game, and I think a journalist at Kenny is like partly been known for a while had leaked the team, so straight away he's obviously tied that in, and he said to me, Kenny and Waldo in front of all the boys in a team meeting, like 3 of your teammates are leaking the team. What? Mate, mental.
Wow.
But it's like you said, he would have a go, like, he was fiery. You know what I mean? He would argue with people.
Who else would argue back a lot with him? Kenny?
Clint Hill.
With Clint Hill?
Clint Hill would argue back.
That was before me.
Was that before you?
I came the year.
What was that about again? Oh, I can't remember what that was about, but that was funny. Because Clint said something like, it was like the meeting was like 45-minute long, and Clint just like said at some point, can we go out and train now? Like halfway through the meeting. Which, listen, like as much as I was, you can't do that, do you know what I mean? That is bang out, but Clint was not having him, so he would have ding dongs with him and all.
Amazing. That go in is incredible, isn't it?
I can't believe that. It's the first I've heard that.
Did you play every week under it?
Aye, most weeks, aye.
So see again, we're talking about like style of play. Did Pedro have a style of play? Did he have like how he wanted just to play? Would just work on it?
His training was mental, innit?
Somebody said
His
it.
training was mental.
He would pick
Can you give an example of a training session?
Oh, sorry, he'd pick a team on a Monday for the following Saturday, and then the starting 11 would train earlier, and the rest would train earlier. We wouldn't see each other for a full week.
So you do like possession, so starting 11 would do like a possession, and then if you weren't playing, you'd do a possession, but you would go the other end of the pitch, or another pitch.
Aye.
Why not just do it next?
And he would only work with the starting
He would only
players.
work with the starting 11.
Oh, would he?
Aye.
And what was that? A lot of shape with the starting 11?
Just everything, just possession, passing drills, shape, whatever.
Just love having 11 players.
But you used to do a finishing drill, I don't know if you remember it.
Players. Throw the drills at 11 players.
He used to do a finishing drill where you had like the boxes and the bungees out. So you used to be like doing like step ups onto like a box.
Aye.
You used to have to unclip yourself out a bungee and sprint and finish.
Aye.
Oh wow.
Boys jamming their fingers on that.
Can I get to it?
No, it would be like said slow, wouldn't it? Like,
Putting you back, putting you back on the bungee because you can't get.
Boys would come, see because of what you're used to.
Mental.
See because you were used to, like obviously the way Scottish train, British train or whatever it is a bit different for foreign boys. Like boys would finish training and go do a run.
Because it wasn't enough.
Just because like it wasn't very like, it was never really like competitive stuff, was there? Like
No.
a lot of it was like on a
Because we're all split up. So.
Is there any other stuff like that with the bungee? Any other wee things you used to do? That's McNivis.
Can't really think.
Did he ever join in, Pedro?
Did a lot of dribbling tracks. I remember the dribbling tracks one time. We'd
What,
have
just
your own
having a
ball.
phone?
Aye,
Oh,
got a
fuck
4-minute dribbling track.
Mate, that's for underlines, isn't it? Like
Aye.
the first two.
I remember I used to do some of them. I can't really remember much else.
What was the final?
No, you'll remember this. What was his assistant's name? That was fucking
Pedrito.
No, so he's it just reminded me because he said that he had an assistant used to join in training
From
and he was
Celtic.
fucking
played
loved
for
her.
PSG.
Aye. And one day, do you remember the analysis where they had the old clips of this guy playing? Is that this the guy you used to laugh at every day? What's his name, mate?
Okay.
And obviously he was brilliant 30 years
Year
ago.
ago,
He's
like
60 now, why is he training me?
He used to do the set plays and all. He used to do set plays, but he used to have a book and a set play, but he used to have like pictures of us in it. So like our own team. And he'd get the set plays out and he'd be like, you front space, we're all looking at the book and he's like, you, and we're like, who? And he's like, him.
Aye.
Didn't know the name. He'd just say him.
Danny. Danny. It'd be
front
fucking Danny
space.
Mackay. Danny, front post.
That's unreal.
Hey, Danny here, mate.
That's dangerous, isn't it? What was the final nail for Pedro? Was there a game or something that got me set?
Just probably everything on it.
That was the way. I can't actually remember.
But when you go back and like recruitment and that, like Rangers gave him the power to sign
Penny.
10 foreign players.
On a fortune, wasn't it?
And then you sack him, 6 months later or something?
Aye.
Not even that.
Did you get to deal with Penny?
Aye, he sat next to me actually in the changing room, aye.
What kind of guy was he, alright?
He was actually brand new, aye.
I never
Brand
released.
new.
I
Did
never
he not give
released.
a fuck now?
Nah. None of them really did.
Nah. But that day you're nothing.
When times are tough, aye, because you're looking about going, you know, like he's a hand here, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most of them are brilliant people, do you know what I mean? Like Buff was like bonkers, but
Who's this Morelos?
aye.
He's quite like people think because the stories about him, he was brilliant at changing him, wasn't he?
Aye.
Well, he was classed at changing him.
Was he
He
like
went,
Morelos?
brilliant, aye.
Always like having a laugh and...
Plus he would work hard, mate. It's not as if he was like, as much as we talk about how he was unfit and that, like,
Aye.
he'd still work hard in training.
He was fighting
And
training and all.
Aye, he would, he would.
And even under Gerrard, like Buff used to like be having a laugh in the change room and that, and then you get to train, And I swear, like, you'd get the ball, you just pass it away, and he was just like, bang.
Smash it.
Aye, right up the back of your leg, man. You turn round, and you're like, what are you doing? And he'd be like, come on. Like in training.
That. I like it.
And then 2 seconds later, man, it's just the riots in training.
What,
just
fighting each other?
just Gerrard pulls us in, like, what's going on here? Like,
Fucking hell.
I love that. He smashes people
Oh,
into
yeah, I like that.
suppose like Kyogo's like that as well, isn't he?
Aye, might be like stones people's toes and
Don't
that.
stand on people's toes and stuff like that.
So she just...
I can imagine that.
I know.
You actually see if you have a wee look during the game, you can see him up to
He's always
stuff.
bumping people on that, innit?
See, just to go back, so Pedro loses his job. He's surprised Murty takes it.
Especially with the Olympics coming up.
Do you know what I actually remember about? I remember Murty's training being quite good.
was it? Aye.
I remember his training being decent. Aye.
What, like in terms of, it would give you an idea.
But I don't know
what
if that was
you want
because
to
it went for Pedro where training was like just a pure non-event to do competitive stuff again, intensity, do you know what I mean?
But even with Murty, like, as I touched on there, like, he's coming in and he's dealing with, like, buff and like
difficult, and
foreign boys, and he was training the B team, do you know what I mean?
see, at that time, mate, are you kind of going like, I've made the wrong decision coming here?
Nah, at the time your head's scrambled, obviously. Like, so I've went for Dale and the group of boys that I had at Aberdeen, do you know what I mean, who I touched on, and then you're going to Rangers and you think, like, it's just chaos.
It's crazy.
Absolute chaos.
what was Cummings like?
Aye, Cummings is a great lad.
Is he?
Aye.
Just
Great.
always up for a laugh.
Aye.
Brilliant. Aye.
But he was good at that times and all, because obviously things weren't going well and that, but he would always come in on Monday. He'd have like all his laughing and having a joke, and but nah, Cummings was great for the change room. I remember one where we used to car share, me, Cummings and Jason Holt, and so I think we drew or something. It's a Sunday, we had the play of the year Sunday night. So Cummings like, oh, who's driving and that? So we're like, oh no, but he's like, I'll drive, like, I'm staying after booze and that, I'll take the car. So right, fair enough, you drive. So we get to the play of the year day. Me and Holt are on a different table here, like boys like having a little bit of laugh in that turn round. Cummings has got a tray of shots. He's drove us in, by the way. Tray of shots to the table. Just drew with fucking Partick Thistle or something.
Oh, what a hero.
Was that the night that Joe Dodo get battered?
I can't remember it was the same night. But anyway, so he comes over, he's like, when he used to take the car home, so I've took his car home. Me and Holt, he's obviously went away, but his flat keys are on the car keys. So I've got in the house, I've got them on the house. So anyway, I go home, go to bed, and that next morning it's like 7:30 in the morning, doorbell constantly gone. Go downstairs, man, Mrs. just a wee one, Mrs. got the wee one. She's like, oh, Jason's at the door. I'm like, oh, just give him his keys. She opens the door. And he's like, morning. And he's got the Rangers tie round the head. Still got the suit on. He's got the socks tucked into the suit trousers.
7.
Oh, what a hero, man.
He's like, I need my flat key.
He was mad.
I think Greg Stewart playing the same team though, isn't it?
Aye, they're the same team, mate. Aye.
And India,
Mate, what a decision it was for him to come to the Hideout with us, by the way. His career ever since, mate.
honestly. Cammy Kerr was telling us, was it off camera he was telling us about, or was he, no, he was talking about on camera, wasn't it? He came in with a green dollar receipt that day. That's what got
Aye,
away for Dundee, wasn't it?
What a hero, man.
And then Gerrard comes in.
Aye.
See, when you both hit, when did you first hear that Gerrard's coming in? Is it, the players get told that there's an opportunity Steven Gerrard might come, or do you just
I
hear
think
at the
it's
same time
more
as
just
everyone
the
else?
news. I think I just heard it like in the news and that. To be honest, I don't.
Were you buzzing when you heard?
Aye, obviously, like what a player growing up. Do you know what I mean? Probably every midfielder, one of the heroes growing up for most midfielders. Do you know what I mean? But I hear about it and you're like, it's a chance this could happen.
He loved you as well, Gerrard, didn't he?
Aye. But I'll never forget my actual first conversation with him. Came in for pre-season and he was obviously pulling everybody in that had been there. Like, what's been going on, like places fucking upside down. And him and Gary Mack at the time. He was like, look, I can't promise you that you're going to be a part of it, that you're going to play.
I think I remember that.
Aye.
I kind of remember that, aye.
So then straight away, like, you know, as a player, you're like, fuck's he talking about? Like, do you know what I mean? I've played every week last year, like. So anyway.
Say why?
No, I just said, look, like, got to be bringing in mind people, players. You know, it's like when a new manager comes in. And I swear within like 3 days of pre-season, pulled me back in and was like, yeah, that conversation we had, just forget about it. He's like, you're gonna be a part of it.
I think I remember
Fair
that.
play to him, innit?
Aye,
Just
brilliant.
to say I'm going back on what I said.
Aye. Just like, forget about it, just, you're going to be a part of it.
And what did you do? You must have been fucking unbelievable.
Aye, but I was just fit as anything that pre-season. Just like won the bleep test and all that, and he must just trained away, and then just 3 days in, he was just like, I'll never forget it. We done shape or something, possession, and I was like right back. I wasn't even playing midfield.
So you weren't getting your position?
No, I was like right back. And then 3 days, he was like, just forget
Well, that's similar to me. I tell you, I wasn't going to Marbella. The first time I went to Marbella, I wasn't even going, because that was obviously after Pedro when I was away and came back. And then summer, like, put me in 3 days. He's like, like, why have you been away? Like, what's been happening? And then I went to Marbella, and then that was it.
Right. Did you ever remember like the first time you spoke to the group and you thought, fucking hell, he's good?
Aye. He spoke well, to be fair.
What was his first?
Really good. He had a proper aura about him, didn't he?
It was like a wee like sort of swagger, walked in, and straight away like he spoke, he was like fucking took notice, didn't you?
Aye. If say like we were talking and he walked in the room, everybody would shut up and just stay away, stop talking.
But nah, he had an aura straight away, like a presence.
I can't remember if I've told this, but do you remember when we had the last day in Marbella? No, the last. Oh fuck! I mind that. Fucking
what happened in the 11?
We had this mad fat Spanish ref.
Aye. So we done like an in-house.
18 stone, mate.
We done like an in-house 11v11.
That was Rafa Benitez.
No.
Sheriff, mate.
He was even bigger, mate, I swear.
You got Benitez to ref it.
Aye, we done like a in-house 11v11 like last day, because we never had a game, I don't think, did we?
No.
Just like an in-house. And obviously boys went away for like 10 days or whatever, it gets a bit like feisty in the game. We've got some big fat Spanish ref who doesn't know what to be there, just wants paid basically. So like boys are like smashing each other in that in 11v11. So a decision happened or something, somebody went through on goal.
It was like miles offside,
like about 5 yards offside. And it's goal, gives the goal, boys' heads. I'm sure your head fell off or something.
Aye. And the gaffer actually walked on the pitch and went, it was fucking offside to the ref.
And the ref's face, he's like, it's fucking offside.
He wasn't getting any fouls or nothing, mate. It was mental.
The gaffer's like, free kick.
Aye, so he just started refing the game, aye. Big man had the full kit on and all refs kit. It was no made a single call.
That's brilliant.
But do you remember the last day, right? And he ended up mad with singing Liverpool songs and that?
Aye.
That's brilliant.
Oh, it was class. It was good.
Did you think at first that he would be like that? Do you think there's no way he'd end up getting a drink with us? Or was he quite...
Probably no, but that probably made...
That helped,
helped.
Aye, massively.
See, in training and that, would he get on boys during training, or would he stand back and let like McAllister?
I always remember the first time he joined in, mate.
Aye.
Fucking hell,
amazing.
man.
Was that in Marbella as well?
Aye, in Marbella.
What, start of the session, or did he just...
think somebody were outside his foot,
It was
first
a goalie,
time finish?
I can't remember who was it. Who's the goalie?
I can't remember, but outside of the foot, like, ball get wrapped into my hand.
Somebody got injured, didn't they?
Think somebody outside his foot.
Somebody got injured, the striker or something in training, and he was like, I'll take the bib. 2 seconds later, got into half turn, man, just dinked the goalie.
Yeah.
We were all just looking at each other like,
See when he comes in, does he mention that he wants to stop the Celtic getting the 10? Does he even bring that up to you?
I remember the first thing he mentioned was getting in the group stages of Europe. You're like, we just got beaten the first round last year after fucking
Did he?
job in United.
Aye.
And then obviously
He didn't really mention much about
Celtic.
no straight away, no straight away.
See how you talk about like Pedro's training, how was Gerrard?
I thought it was unreal.
I was top.
So can you talk us through like a typical week under Gerrard? I know not in a pure massive detail, but like Monday maybe you got a cool down because you played Saturday.
I don't know about you. Could you remember like proper? It was just
competitive every day.
Like proper structured, competitive, intensity was brilliant.
Aye.
But like, so I always thought it was so detailed, mate. Like, see when it came to like
Shaping
how you were going to play, style of play, like in possession, out of possession, everything. Like everybody knew exactly what they had to do, and no grey areas whatsoever.
Love that.
Were you used to firing training? I can imagine you used to.
You were always a brilliant trainer.
Aye, we were fiery, weren't we?
Aye.
But we had a good group.
Most was.
Aye, we had a good
most
group.
were.
See where you being midfielders, would he concentrate on you, just like in terms of individually things you could do better? Like, would he help you with stuff like that, or was he more about the team?
No overly, like massive on it. But he would pull you and say, "I think you can do this better or that better, or pass forward quicker, or whatever it may be." Do you know what I mean?
Can you remember what he said to you early on that you thought you could do better?
Nah, not really.
Nah.
I just remember he said, like, don't know if you're going to be a part of it, you're going to play whatever, and then 3 days changed it.
That's brilliant.
And then bringing Griggs in's an incredible signing to win it.
Aye.
That's brilliant.
There's
Davo,
JD.
aye, Jermaine, like proper like older experienced boys on the sort of same window, wasn't it?
Aye. Aye, it was
That
massive.
right away though, I know it took them a couple of years obviously to win the league, but that changes it right away. With guys like that, the mentality totally shifts then. Because see the stuff that had been happening, obviously Gerrard said it, but they're not going to allow the stuff that had been happening either in the dressing room.
Scotty Arfield was another one.
See Gerrard, did he do I think you've maybe said that, did he do the leaders where he puts 5 or something sort of leaders in the dressing room? Was that a
That
thing?
leadership group.
Aye.
I don't really think he did. No, I don't think he did.
I
That I
can't
can remember. No, I don't think so.
Who are they three? Like, well, especially Davis and Defoe, like with the joking training.
Aye. JD was just like...
Jermaine was the one for me.
Aye.
Was it, huh?
You could just tell when he's like struck a ball, man, you were like, straight away, like, holy shit.
And so strong.
Aye.
So strong.
Aye.
What about possessions and stuff like that? Would he be good in the possessions, or would it be more
He would just dot about,
But,
and then when it comes to a game like a 7v7 or 11v11, he would just get the ball at his feet, like strong, hold somebody off, spin, bang, goal, bottom corner.
I've said to them, I used to say to them all the time, like, you talk about like boys that proper impression training that people will, I used to say Glenn Kamara all the time.
Aye.
Glenn
Kamara was brilliant for you one
Top
season.
player,
wasn't he?
He's incredible.
Top player.
But you always get, I think you get that at most clubs, don't you? Like boys in training that are, like every day in training you think, they're a joke. Where fans might have a different opinion of him after the pitch. Nah, he's miles better than what you're saying he is.
See on that midfield free thing off the bottom, I'm obsessed with it. So, like, how often would you work on that? Would it be every Friday before the game?
Probably 2 days before, wasn't it? 2 days, he would say. But he was big on more focusing on us, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he would give you detail in the meeting and that about, say, Mirren or Aberdeen or whatever, or what they do, but a lot of it would be, this is how we're going to play. We didn't really change too much within. Like, we had a way of playing, so kind of, you just got used to it, and it would never change, do you know what I mean? So
That's what
eventually,
it should be.
so eventually everybody, like, you step in or you step out, like,
You
everybody
know what
knows.
is expected of you.
Aye.
That's the way it should be, shouldn't
especially
it?
at Rangers and Celtic, aye.
But I would say that he's played differently in the league than you did, especially away from home in Europe.
Aye,
Like we
aye,
spoke about.
So probably in Europe they would sort of touch on maybe a bit more passive and no as aggressive, obviously in the press or whatever. But as soon as like domestically, as soon as you lost the ball, it was like what we were talking about earlier, like everybody just hunt
Swarm
the ball down,
it,
swarm it. And if somebody plays through you and goes and scores, then hold your hands up.
Yeah.
What changes though from the first couple of seasons to the season he's actually going to win it, and that summer, is there a different feel to it, or?
I think it was more just, as I touched on before, recruitment. I think
Getting better players in.
it took
Aye.
time to, as I say, like the club invested heavily in Pedro and then didn't go well. Then obviously Marty comes in. I think Marty signed a few January maybe, no?
Aye.
Sean Goss, Cummings.
Aye.
So there's a few. Marty obviously signs a few British boys, and then summer Gerrard comes in. It's just like,
So who does Gerrard bring in other than Defoe and Davis that lifts the standards?
Kent, was he not?
Kent, was he one?
he was after. I think he brought in Connor, big Connor in Marbella.
Connor,
Wilson,
Joe,
Nico Cottage,
Nico, aye, Borna straight after the Osijek game.
Aye.
Aye, there was a few. But it wasn't like loads of money spent, was there?
Nah, it wasn't. But that's what I'm talking about, is in like that group of players was still there, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
For like Pedro's time, you still had like Daniel Candeas and
Well, all the players you just mentioned are kind of like you, Connor, like all the boys played for 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Near enough week in, week out.
yeah.
What about team talks with Gerrard? What would a typical team talk be like?
Just like obviously you go through all the tactics and shape, how you want to play, how you want to press.
Would he do that the day of the game?
You would just do that before, so you obviously meet up for pre-match 3 years before, and then maybe like an hour and a half before in the meeting room, talk you through how you're going to press. But you've done it in training, but it's more just recapping on clips and stuff, and then you just have like bullet points on basically what you'd want, mentality, and but I thought he spoke very well before games, and like he got what it meant, do you know what I mean?
Beale took all the training, didn't he?
Aye, most of it, aye. But the gaffer, like, he just like managed boys, do you know what I mean? And then Beale took training Now, if he wanted to come in and say something, he would just stop training and just walk in.
That works so well, that, doesn't it? When a manager does that, he's got a coach that can...
Or if standards not good enough, he would be the first one to be like, whoa, stop, and then you stop and you just start going for boys.
I wanted to ask you both this, because obviously I had it with the Candice when, because he's the guy he is, when he says a particular thing to you and you feel like the fucking best player in the world. Did Gerrard ever do that? Like, was there a particular game where he's played well, he came up to you after it and said something that made you feel like fucking the best player ever?
There's probably one where I think we played Aberdeen away. Aye. And obviously I was getting it like stinking, but I actually played really well in the game. And after the game he was like, fucking, I came off with like 10 minutes to go and he was like, oh, you were a different class, and like kissed me on the cheek. And straight away you're like, fucking hell, like...
It's amazing.
He's having me, do you know what I mean? But I think as a player...
Took you off and started getting after you. He loves me.
You don't want a kiss?
But it's like one of the things as a manager, like... when they show you that sort of belief, do you know what I mean? It changes you as a player, I think.
I think any big game under Gerrard you played, like any Old Firm, Europe, you would always play, wouldn't you? I think that's when you knew, like he would go to the ones he trusted in the big games, wouldn't he?
How did he deal with Morelos? Did he deal with him differently from the previous managers?
I think it's hard to explain, like, because
he would let him away with like
more than
others, but it was still.
It's so hard to me. What you might do, he is your best player, isn't he? Like, you can't just fuck him off, can you? Like, who's his replacement?
And it came to a point where you're thinking, like, what can I actually do? Like, as a manager, what can I actually say to him? I've done everything. Probably fined him, shouted at him, like, dropped him. And it's just...
Do you know, but that is the time then that you should get rid of him?
He got him, I remember, like, he got him proper fit one year, I remember, like, pre-season, he had him doing, like, spins at 7 a.m, extra 10 all the time, and but that was probably the year where I felt it was unbelievable. Like,
but I'll never forget, we played Celtic League Cup final. The one at Celtic 1-1-0, the offside goal, I think it was Gio Leaving, wasn't it? And we were unreal in the game, but Buff missed, honestly, about 8 sitters. He could have scored 5, missed a pen. And day before the cup final, we're all going to the hotel and that, Gerrard's like, just keep it simple the way it is. And gets to like, we're training at 11, gets to like 10:30, like, MD seen Buff, and it's like, nah, he's no in. Then it gets to 11, the gaffer's like, right, we're going to need delay training. Day for a cup final.
Wow.
He's like, still no in, phoning him, no answering his phone. The phone's off. And so eventually, the gaffer's like 11:30 or something. He's like, right, we just need to go out. We need to train, like... I'll never forget, I had my daughter's birthday party that day.
And he's killing you.
So I was like, I'll nip there for like an hour before I go home. And so we're on the pitch at like 11:30, and no joke, he comes out, like, we've been out for like half an hour, he comes out, like, not a care in the world, boots untied, socks tucked into the training joggies, and just comes out, like, struts onto the pitch, and then just like tries to join in. And the gaffer's obviously rages, I'm not fucking talking to him. And then like the fitness coach's like, oh, you need to warm up. So he's just away, like, trotting me in the pitch, like, no arse. Day for a cup final.
I remember.
Wow.
And then
what type of guy must you be to not be scared of Steven Gerrard next day? Sorry.
And the next day comes in, misses like 5 sitters, miss a pen.
Have you ever got that guy, lads, sorry?
Nah, he would just come in and blame the defence.
He
was just to come in, he'd miss honestly 5 sitters, he would come in after the game, be like, fucking defence.
I love that.
Big corner and that's like, what? You've just fucking missed 5 sitters. He's like, fuck off, fucking defence again. Like, can't keep the ball.
Gerrard was proper done with him after that final, went for a bit like that. He was like...
Aye. There was one
I remember there was like loads of like...
You remember that final?
There was loads of like sort of...
No, I don't know.
press after like
Fraser
asking.
Forster was unbelievable.
Aye.
He was a joke.
Oh, that's right. Wow.
But he had like, even he went away international or something, and we played Hearts and Scottish Cup. I think it was a January break actually. We played Hearts Scottish Cup with no striker, just Buff. So he had pleaded to like let him go back and all that to Colombia. So Gerrard let him go back. Then the week of the game, like, meant to come back on Monday, doesn't turn up. Then we get to the Friday game to Saturday, we've travelled through to stay in a hotel, doesn't show up. And then he gets back like Saturday morning, game's at like 5:30 Saturday night.
He just turns up to the game.
We played with Greg Stewart up front. Greg Stewart played 9, we got beat. We got put out. Just didn't show up.
But none of the boys pull him up, like, come on.
Aye, all the time.
But he's couldn't talk.
Boys to have meetings with him saying like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we need you, like. And they were just like, yeah, like, sorry, like, this happened, that happened, and then...
That's weird because everybody did love him though.
But you liked him, aye, as a guy, like, great guy and that, but just didn't give a fuck, did they really?
Screwball.
Right, the year of top 10. How soon into that year did you know, like, you're flying here?
I think it was just pre-season. I think pre-season we'd obviously spoke about it. Obviously manager made it clear, like, whatever we do, we just need to focus on the league, like this year. So I just had strong pre-season, and then we started the season well, and then it just snowballed.
Was that the summer that, like, beat like Real Madrid and all that in pre-season?
Aye.
Beating everyone?
It was, aye. Flying in pre-season. I think that's when the belief started, like fuck.
Mad what pre-season could do then if you're saying that, innit?
Aye, it was.
Just because you've done well in pre-season.
And then obviously we go on and then we start well in the league. I think we played Aberdeen away.
Aberdeen was the first game, wasn't it? And you won
1-1 because obviously that was always a big game. Aberdeen tried to stop Rangers and that, and then we won, and then obviously it just took off.
But it was nuts, but it was actually, you were unbeaten that season.
Aye.
How many? You only conceded something like, am I right in saying, like 16 goals?
Aye, it was something mad.
I remember, because I remember John McLaughlin starting the season in goals.
Aye.
And Rangers went about 9-10 games, we conceded like 1 goal, something mental like that. And people are saying like, oh, like when Giggs is back, he's not getting back in, but it was just as a
John
unit
wasn't
winning
even
the
number
full
one.
team, aye. You just wouldn't even concede chances, never mind goals.
And what was that again? Was that something he'd worked on more or been better off the ball that summer?
Aye.
That
So basically it was just more like, as soon as we lose the ball, it was just like, fucking get after it, don't give up chances. And it worked that year to a T.
I know you obviously you're focusing yourself and you've, but could you quite believe what was going on with Celtic that year?
Nah, obviously you expected it to be closer. Do you know what I mean? You do every year. And it's probably the same when Celtic go up against Rangers and then Rangers fall off or whatever. They probably think you expect it to be closer, but it's hard because obviously you see that happening, and it just, as a player on the opposite side, just gives you belief. Do you know what I mean?
Does that?
Aye, definitely. Definitely.
How? What stage of the season did you think like this is pretty much done? Because it was a massive gap earlier.
It was probably after Christmas. Probably January, February.
So no beat Celtic at Ibrox in like middle of January or something?
January, I'm sure it was like, was it 4-1 or something?
Or something like that, but at that point it made it like 20 points or something, didn't it? Like 15, 20 points or something.
Was that obviously your stupid question? Was that your favourite year at Rangers?
Aye.
Just a great atmosphere about the place.
Aye. Just everything, just obviously with the coaching staff, the manager, the players, just everything came together that year. Because that was obviously what Gerrard had been working to try and get to. You know what I mean? And
then the Greg Stewart spoke about the night you won it. The absolute carnage.
Aye.
What's your recollections of it?
We just stayed. I think it was St Mirren we played, and then Celtic were playing the next day. But obviously, basically we'd won it, and we just stayed after the game. It was just like crates of booze coming in the changing room. And I think it got to like 10 o'clock at night or 10:30 at night. Game finished at like 5:15, and security were like, right, you need to go. Like, you've got to go home. We need to shut the stadium. He was like, all the fans and that had turned up. So it was like 10,000 fans in Edmondson Drive. And he was like, it's absolute bedlam. And we had the gaffers like, no worries. Then Klingsman's through the changing room with his Rangers suit on.
So you Gerrard us?
I remember the video of it.
Was he, huh?
Aye.
And then, see, when he's sitting and getting a drink, mate, what do you talk about? Just like the season that's just
I was talking about the season, like fucking goals and just everything.
I remember Greg Stewart telling us that like
Slaughtered Greg Stewart.
Aye.
What did he say?
But it was Greg not like pure battering him for a new deal. Because he was like out of contact.
So obviously we'd all been drinking
He's
that.
another year.
Greg's like, Gaffer, any chance a new deal? And he's like, do you want a new deal, aye? And Greg's like, aye, of course. He's like, well, lose weight, you fat. We were all rolling a bit.
What would you do if he came up to you, Steve? He was like, favourite bit of the season was kissing you on the
Pittodrie.
Oh, amazing.
Like that, it was something nice.
Where did you lift the trophy? At Ibrox?
Aye.
But
think it was?
there's no fans there, isn't there?
Saturday.
Because sometimes you get it in the away game,
No,
don't
it
you?
was last game of the season. No, because it was one, it was like just last home game when I think it was Aberdeen at home.
But there was still no fans there?
Nah.
Does that ruin it a bit for you?
No,
the achievement, but just
I know the achievement. Nah, the achievement is obviously like massive, but obviously not to have that moment with fans there to share. And obviously it was a tough time. Fans need to watch the games in the house and that. And so it was a bit of a gutter, but the achievement that we actually what we done that season was amazing.
How was it for your family? You were a Rangers fan growing up?
Aye.
So your dad and that buzzing?
Aye, they were all buzzing, but obviously at the time it was COVID, so like couldn't even have family in that there. Do you know what I mean? So like you're going to lift the trophy and that, and your family in the house watching it at Sky Sports.
Did Morelos no FaceTime you?
So did he.
Aye, few us, aye.
You were close to getting another year as well, there, weren't you?
Aye.
The year before that.
Aye.
That's how life has it, done it? You're
absolute
fucking
sickener,
sitting here
that.
with. Then Gerrard leaves for Villa.
Were you all shocked, mate, with that?
Aye.
Again, when do you first kind of hear murmurings that you might be leaving?
I never heard anything until basically it was released at like, oh, he's favourite, there's a chance he could go.
Did he ever mention it to you?
No.
When he was being like, never?
No.
He was linked to a Newcastle job before it, wasn't he?
So that's when it started. You start thinking like people are looking, obviously, but nah, we never knew.
So when do you find it?
Just when he went, just when he was gone.
Does he tell you?
I think he put a message in the group chat, but it was done, and then like a day later, put a message in saying just like thanks for your efforts and that, but had to take this opportunity or whatever.
And do you speak to him individually? Does he phone you on it? Text him or?
No, I spoke to him like obviously over the years since he's left, like just messages and that, and but no, it was more just in the group chat saying thanks for your efforts.
But that time though, I mean, I know obviously the allure to the Premier League, but did Rangers not only spend $3 million?
I don't even think it was enough.
No.
Not even $3 million, was it?
See then, mate,
The only one I remember them signing was Sakala, no? And Bakuna, maybe.
but what you have just achieved that season, that's the time then you'd want. I don't know. See, if you're a player's point of view, do you get frustrated with that as well?
No, I think at that point, because we got to such a level, do you know what I mean? That was the time for the club to go and really nail it down, sign 2 or 3 like top players to come in and prove it.
Because Celtic, the opposite, they went out and spent, I think it was around about 30 whatever million.
But we had the core of like everything we needed, do you know what I mean? So if we went and signed 2, 3 top level players to improve everything, then probably took us to another level.
Because we were all at a good age as well, wasn't it?
Aye.
Like Kamara, yourself, Goldson, Thelin.
And then we obviously had experienced boys still like Davo, Griggsy. So we had a mixture of everything, we had everything we needed, but as you say, sometimes you maybe just need that 2, 3 players just to lift it again. But
100%.
We never got it.
I remember them being linked with the boy Joey Veerman. Full summer.
Aye. Didn't get him.
Like
Where is he now?
PSV.
Linked with Man U, Liverpool.
Playing for Holland in the
Euros. Holland in the Euros. They proper thought they were getting him. I remember speaking to people about that, and apparently Gerrard was fuming that, didn't he?
I think that's probably played a part, to be honest. Obviously he's never said that to me, but when I look back, then you're saying there we won the league and we spent less than 3 million, he's probably looked at it and thought they've no backed it, do you know what I mean? That's probably a chance for us to go and really put our foot down.
But although Gerrard leaves, you must be delighted when you hear Van Bronckhorst is coming in. He'd won the league in Holland, didn't he?
Aye.
And obviously Rangers icon, wasn't he?
Aye. So obviously you're gone to another Rangers legend, if you like, as manager, but then I touched on again before, it's like completely different again, do you know what I mean? So Gerrard's obviously invested in the way he plays, him and Beale, that squad, and then we go to Gio and it's like him, complete different backroom staff, training completely changed. Way of playing's completely different, a lot slower.
Because that's where Gerrard done well, didn't he? He signed players to fit that system.
Aye.
What was so see you say training's changed, in what way? Just a lot slower?
Aye, it was
You
just
had that Spanish guy reffing every training game, didn't he?
just the intensity changed. I think it's just the way he played. It was like he changed it. He wanted to play with wingers. He wanted the fullbacks to stay. So fullbacks were probably our biggest threat, was our 2 10s coming in. Tav and Borna going high.
What's your thoughts on that as a manager? Like, see if you, like you said, look at the group of players and see what you've got. Should you just stick with what suits that group of players until you do get players that can come in and fit that? And then why isn't he brought fullbacks in that played that way as well?
Aye. No, I think there's obviously, you want to put your own, if you're coming in a club, you need to put your stamp on that team, but I just think we were so suited to how we played. Tav and Borna probably getting the most assists for us all season, and then we come in and tell both of them to stay behind the ball.
It must be so hard for especially like Tav to go and play that way.
No, 100%. But the what he's done in Europe, Matt, he was just incredible.
Aye.
Do you remember speaking to me before the Dortmund game?
Aye.
Remember?
Aye.
What, on the phone?
I can't remember why. Like, obviously stayed in touch all the time, but I remember speaking to Jacko before the Dortmund game away, which was obviously the first leg. And I'll never forget you saying, like, mate, we're going toe to toe with Dortmund tomorrow, like having a pure proper go.
How good's
And I
that?
was like, how do you feel? And I was like, just surprised.
Aye.
And
With-
fucking.
with
Did
worked in
Gerrard, sorry, did Van Bronckhorst say like we're going to go to October with these?
Aye. So basically worked on it. So like the game I think was a Thursday, the Monday. And then he was just like went on the training pitch, and he was big on that, like 11v11s all the time, just like shape all the time. And he was just like on the Monday, he was just like, look, like we're going to Dortmund and we're just going man for man or the pitch. So we're all like straight away, you're all like fucking hell, like playing Dortmund away, like they've got like Bellingham, fucking Hummels, like top class players in the ball, and we're just going man for man or the pitch. And he was like, no, like trust it, like it'll work. Like
Why do you think he done that for that game?
I don't know. He must have seen something and he thought, like, if you give them time to build up, then they're a better team. If you just get after them, then
Was he quite like that, Van Bronckhorst? Would he change his
Aye.
tactics based
Aye.
on what the other team done?
aye. So I think there was a game, I can't remember what one it was. I think it was maybe Braga at home in Europe, and he changed to a back. So we'd went a back four. It might not have been, it might have been a different one, but we went a back four one of the games at Ibrox, and we were struggling, and within like 10 minutes he just
Remember,
went a
he
back
changed that back
five,
three and put
Lunny
Lundstrom back, didn't he? Yeah.
back, and it probably won us the game. Do you know what I mean?
That's brilliant, isn't it?
How was Bellingham?
You could tell he was.
tell right away he's
Who was man
different
marking
level.
him? You? Imagine like you've
Well, it kind of changed because
depending on what areas
you
you
were
went
away.
in.
Aye,
Yeah.
but he scored in both games, Bellingham, and he was only 19.
Yeah.
Scored in
At the
both
time.
games, but I'll never forget at Ibrox when he was like hammering players.
Actually,
He was a
right.
left
Was
back, wasn't it?
pointing at
Aye.
people like fucking pass the ball and all that, like
But he was like
19-year-old
that in the
and caning
pitch. He was like
people.
that in the pitch. Like he would shout stuff at like Hummels and that,
Aye.
and then you would just be like, during the game, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like
That's mental.
Hummels has won the World Cup, mate. Like you're 19-year-old.
Aye, he's
Do you know what I mean?
hammering
I
people.
love it.
He'd be like, give me the fucking ball, give me it, like to like top players. And you're just like, fuck.
What was the score in the first leg?
4-2. Aye, we're 3-0 up. I think it was.
Aye, 3-0 up.
Mate,
Actually,
that's
never forget
First
it.
half, wasn't it?
Aye. Never forget it, man. 3-0 up. And like, I remember going back to halfway line, man, just looking up and just seeing 3-0, and I was just thinking, like, what's actually going on? Like,
Has that been your favourite, one of your favourite games? Or
aye,
just
aye. I think Lunny scored the left footer. And just like, what is that? Because I remember when the draw got made, we were all sitting watching it in the treatment room. And then obviously Dortmund, they were all like, oh, fucking what a tie and that. But obviously it was good while it lasted in that, just like having a laugh.
you think they can
Just like having a laugh in that.
Like, oh, we done well, man. We done well to get this far.
You know what boys are like? Boys are like, fucking good while it lasted, boys. We've got Dortmund. Like, you think, like, world class players, like, what do you respect? Dortmund should be beating us, do you know what I mean? With what they had.
Yeah.
And then when Gio just, like, we turned up the Monday before and he's like, we're going man for man, and we're all thinking, like, he's offside, like, lost the plot. But then, we go and win.
How was Van Bronckhorst in terms of like how making you feel as a player? Like would he make you feel
was
like you could
different.
compete with Dortmund?
Aye, he would on the pitch, aye, but like individually he was a lot different for like Gerrard, like as in like the chats and that. He wouldn't have that, like he wouldn't pull you in and say like, oh, like you've got to do this, you've got to be the main man, or do you know what I mean? He was more just like on the pitch collectively.
Yeah.
It wasn't that intense, was it?
Nah,
Didn't seem that intense.
Nah, a lot more like chilled and laid back. Like team talks and that, just chilled, half time chilled. Well, I've seen Gerrard come in at half time and fucking Gerrard just always had a notebook, and you knew he was raging because he would pace back and forth and he'd just be staring at a notebook.
Stuff that he'd obviously wrote down it
Aye,
the half.
And then he would just lose the plot like at half time.
What was the worst you seen Gerrard go? Can you remember?
I think we were drawn or getting beat at Ibrox off somebody. I can't remember who it was. And he just full scale lost the plot, like just gone round everybody like in their face. And he had a notebook, man, and I think Griggsy was like always sat there. And he just fucking lost it and just launched the notebook. And I'm not joking, Griggsy was sitting like that, and it must have hit the wall like there. And Griggsy didn't even move, he was just like that. Like didn't even flinch. And but Gio was different. Gio was just like, you just get the tactics board out and just talk about everything tactically, like
See, I think I like Van Bronckhorst, but
no real
I like
emotion
the
on.
sound it.
Aye, the tactical side of it.
Did you see his tax? Sorry, mate.
Remember Gerrard half time out for?
Aye.
That's fucking amazing.
Aye.
What happened there?
It's one of the best.
Went mad at Alfredo again. Alfredo got sent off, didn't he, first half?
Clapping in the ref's face. So he got booked
You clapped.
and the refs booked him. But it was just typical Alfredo, like did not care, man. Refs booked him, but the ref was a nutter. I don't know where his face.
Was that Spanish
he
guy?
just went right up to his face like that, clapping, and it's like
choked to get sent off, mate. Honestly.
like 2 inches away from the ref's face, for clapping the face off him, and the refs just double booked him off.
You went fucking mental, Alfredo, aye. And then that's when he spit.
He said to
John Flanagan for like 5 minutes, didn't he?
So Flannel's on a yellow, and he was like, Flannel, like you love a tackle and that. He's like, do not touch anybody, like just stay behind the ball, do not touch anybody, like stay up, stay on your feet. Ball, like somebody switches the ball, Flannel, you can just see it happening, just coming across a full back. Winger comes in, he's got like that, bang, full on, mate. Guy's nose is like that. So we're all like, oh no, ref sprints across, man, straight red, off.
9 men, 50th minute.
And then did he get it at full time as well?
So after the game, we obviously won. We got through with 9 men. And he was just turned into Flannel and was like, you are the luckiest man alive.
Wow.
I had to kill him.
Aye.
See, just before we, and I'm really about to go back to this Europa League run, but see, just before that, are you surprised Gerrard didn't do well at Villa?
Aye.
With how sort of good he had been with us?
Aye. Obviously, it's again, he's gone to a different team. I think it was a few months into the season, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That he took the Villa job.
He's not even had that pre-season.
So it's probably like you've not had pre-season
signings.
And, you're going to another squad. But aye, without a doubt, I thought he would have done a lot better than what he did.
So just back onto that run. See, when you knocked Dortmund out, mate, is there a feeling amongst you then that he can go all the way, or is it just the next tie? Who did you get in the next round?
Red Star.
Kev Kyle's Red Star, that's right.
Red Star. Then Braga, then Leipzig. We didn't think we'd go all the way.
No.
Or genuinely, we didn't.
Did you not?
Nah. Like, you knocked Dortmund out, but you still think, like, obviously the draw's getting done, but you think we're still going to get top. There's still top teams in it.
Mm-hmm.
So Barca and all that was still in it, do you know what I mean?
Aye. Frankfurt
obviously,
Barca, didn't he?
Aye, but Barca and all that was still in it, so you're still looking at the draw and thinking, like, you're one tie away from getting a big gun in and you could beat it, but...
What was it about that run, sorry, that you think got you to the final? Was it his tactic?
I think a big part of it was that, aye, definitely.
Brilliant that he could just change it in the middle of a European game.
Definitely the tactics, but Ibrox, man.
Aye, Ibrox, that was
rocking, wasn't it?
Fucking
aye.
That run.
What was the best game for atmosphere in that run?
The Leipzig one.
I had to be.
Aye, the Leipzig one was amazing. Like, never seen an atmosphere like that in my life. Like, just even for the warm up, like you ran out for the warm up and there's just 50,000 folk already there, like singing that. This is like 45 minutes before kick-off, like. So then you're just thinking, this place was rocking. Obviously, Jimmy passed away that week as well. Right. So obviously, just everything added to it, and then.
Could you see that atmosphere affecting opposition? Because it did seem like that, didn't it? See when you see opposition plays, it did look like they were a bit spooked, didn't it?
But they had like Nkunku and like obviously at Chelsea, Danny Olmo, I think.
Aye.
That's just
and their team is a joke.
That Leipzig game, no go 2-0 up in like 15 minutes.
Aye.
Like 2-0 up within 15 minutes at home to Leipzig.
Incredible.
But even like the whole atmosphere, like it was like we didn't even train 2 days before it. Obviously with Jimmy, like came in. I think it was the Tuesday, and then we didn't train. Gaff was just like, look, there's no training. Tuesday, Wednesday, didn't train.
He's never trained 2 days before the game.
Aye. Because obviously, what happened? Do you know what I mean? It was everybody was fucking like devastated, like you could imagine. But
so how did these tactics for the Leipzig game? Just on the board before the game?
Aye. We done.
Fucking hell.
I think we met up. I think we went to the hotel actually on the. I think we went to the hotel on the Thursday in the morning. We met up maybe like 11, half 11 or whatever, and we had a big meeting on how we're going to play in that, because obviously we hadn't been in the pitch. She said like, that's how we're going to play. If we need to change it during the game, we'll change it.
To this?
Aye. So everybody knew if we had to go back 5, Lunny drops and then 5-4-1 or whatever.
Why would he change it to a back 5 during games? What would usually be happening? Just them having more of the ball, or them?
Aye, just like obviously Leipzig at the time were just like high energy, like high press, like constant running, and they were just running off like midfield. Obviously Nkunku was like pinning their strikers. They were just running off midfield, and eventually thought, I need to put Lundstrom in so like the wide centre backs can take the runners basically.
Wow.
And it worked. It worked to a T.
I remember that atmosphere. I remember McCoy was doing he was doing the game, wasn't he, at Ibrox that night? My God, the place was absolutely rocking, wasn't it?
It was.
Was that are you in the final then, or was that the first game?
No, that was the second leg.
Second leg.
First leg they scored, didn't they? The like 92nd minute, I think it was.
1-0, wasn't it? There was a left back
Angelino or something. Scored at a volley, edge of the box. So obviously you go there and get nothing each, you're buzzing, because the power that Ibrox had at that time, we were thinking, fancy yourself against anybody. And then obviously they scored 92nd minute. But then you still believed, you know what I mean?
So see, when it's 3-1 news at home, it's 3-2 in aggregate. What are the last like 10?
Aye, torture, aye.
Was it?
Aye.
Were they battering you for the last 10 minutes?
Aye, they had a couple of chances, aye.
Mate, that in any game's brutal.
Oh,
never
no.
mind a fucking Europa League semi-final.
But even before like the whistle goes, I think they had a corner and it breaks, comes to the left, and then the guy goes to, although he's gonna just flash it, and Tav dives in, he just cuts inside, opens the goal up, and I think Connor comes across and blocks it. But even at that moment, it's like 10 seconds.
Goal.
10 seconds before the whistle's gonna go, and you're just gone.
Goal.
This has gone in. He's just gonna bend us. But then obviously Connor blocks it, and then ref blows
They're the best wins though, and they seem you're like holding on for the last 10 minutes, man.
Especially like at that final. Was your dad and that obviously done for that game?
Aye. And then obviously they all went across to the final, but aye, what a night. Probably the best night I've had.
In your career?
Aye.
What did you do after the game?
Do you know what, I was actually speaking about this to my missus. I was like, we didn't do nothing. It was mental. Didn't even drink in the change room, nothing.
Nah.
But you did the Scottish Cup run though?
Aye, we had a game. No, we had a league game. We had a league game on the Sunday. I think we had like Dundee United or something on the Sunday at home. But aye, when I think back, it's mad. Didn't even, like, we obviously celebrate, tunes on, change room and that, but didn't have a beer, like nothing. Just celebrated, showered and went home. Just got to the European final.
Would Van Bronckhorst have a beer now? You ever get a beer with him?
Aye, he had a beer in that after, like, we won the Scottish Cup and that, but...
And then the final, mate.
Aye, build up to the final, how's that, mate?
Aye, it was mad build up. It's kind of like a blur, do you know what I mean? Like, because it means so much to obviously all of us at the time, and first time, probably last time we ever got to play in the European final. But obviously we flew out the Tuesday instead of the Wednesday, and then we had to train in Seville on the Wednesday before the game on the Thursday. And I just remember it was like 32 degrees the night before when we trained. And in your head straight away, you're like, how are we getting through this?
It's going to be tough.
Aye.
Who'd you room with?
Just by ourselves.
Oh, you got a room with yourself?
Aye.
Bad.
Was there more nerves than normal?
Aye, 1,000,000%.
When does he name the team on the Wednesday?
Aye. Maybe the Tuesday actually, because we trained in the stadium the Wednesday, so he didn't want to do too much.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
Pete will be in there and say,
Aye. So we kind of just named the team, done shaping that back home, and then flew out and just done like an open session.
How's the Wednesday night?
Aye, it's rough.
Sleep?
Aye.
No naps before that game.
Nah,
Mate,
I actually
imagine
remember trying to nap. I usually nap before night games, and I remember during the day, man, it was like you close your eyes and you just couldn't switch off. Your head was just...
So what do you do? Did you just like play PlayStation?
Nah, just lay and watch shit on the iPad and Netflix and that while you're waiting. Like, it's just... That wait's the worst,
Aye,
like, especially for a big game like that. You're constantly, your brain's just rattling.
And then you're heading to the game because you've no nap. You think, I'm shattered.
That's it, mate.
The whole routine's got
aye.
It's mad what a football can do to your head, innit?
But then
Is the
obviously-
bus not quiet and that on the way there, or is it still quite lively?
no, just the same. It was just the
Was
same.
it?
Aye. Usually put tunes on the bus and that on the way to the game, so that was all the same. But just all build up, like, because there's so much to lose. Do you know what I mean? So much to obviously gain, but there's so much to lose. So
Yeah. What was his tactics that game, at the final? Do you remember?
I think we went to 4. I think we were back 4.
Was it getting after them?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because I think just with the weather and that, it was that hot.
Nobody's allowed to run.
The final actually wasn't great, for what I remember.
Nah,
It was
quite cagey.
Aye, just cagey. Aye.
But there was a stage where I remember sitting thinking Rangers are going to win this final.
Aye.
I think especially, you always felt, I thought, with Rangers in Europe at that time, if Rangers went 1-0 up,
Aye,
you fancy them all
aye.
day. Like, they're holding on. So when Joe scores, it's
Aye.
like, you know.
Even like 2 minutes into that game, I just remember Lunny smashed one of their players, like studded him and split his head open. Man, I was thinking, the refs like, we're checking this. It could have been a red eye. It's like 2 minutes in.
And he obviously only gets booked.
Aye, I think he got booked. Aye.
So Aribo scores, then how long after that did they score?
Was it in the 60 minutes or 70 minutes?
Aye.
What was it? Was it a deflection or something to go? Or?
Cross for the left, wasn't
Aye.
it?
So it was.
Corners it in your post. And
But they weren't creating a lot, were they, mate, before that?
Nah. That's what the final was. It wasn't really big chances, wasn't it? It was just, I don't know, it's just one of the games. Like you just
I
want
think
to
it
get
kind of
through.
gets forgetting about, but do you remember the chance, the last minute extra
Aye.
time, Kent, and then Davo's shot.
Aye, Dave left
2
foot.
yards out.
Was he?
Wasn't he? He was about 2 yards out. Kent.
Aye.
And what does he do? Put it out?
Aye.
No, keeper saves it.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
right. That's right.
Roof flashes it
Yeah,
across,
cross.
and he just left foot.
Are you off at this stage?
Aye, I came off at like 75.
Fucked.
Aye.
Mate, that's
Probably more mentally than anything.
Yeah.
Like in a game like that with the heat.
Shattered.
Everything you've went through that week, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it brutal standing watching at the side?
Aye. Pens were torture. Absolute torture.
Do you know how the pens get picked? Like what? Is it Van Broek, does he pick them or the players put their hand in?
We'd practiced pens like all that week. And I don't forget, he said there's a good chance it could obviously go the other way. So we need to take 2 pens each. I think it was 2 days in a row. Took 2 pens each, Monday, Tuesday. And
Do you remember anyone missing and thinking, nah, they'll not take one?
nah, I can't really.
Would you take one if you're on the pitch?
I think I scored both of mine, to be fair, but whether I would have been on the list, I don't know. I think he had a list obviously made out. But obviously he put Ramsey on, didn't he, to
take one?
to take a pen, and then I don't think he wanted to take a pen.
Oh, do you know like he wanted to take one
Nah,
there?
I don't think so.
See, when you're just on the pitch, I wouldn't want to take
But
one.
I think that's his point. I think he was coming on with like 2 minutes to go, probably not going to touch the
Just
ball,
to
and then
take a
have to
pen.
step up to take a pen. But obviously he was one of the bigger sort of players, if you like, for us at the time, so it was...
How was he as a player?
He was a good player, but he had a few injuries in that, which probably was why we had him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, he was a good player.
How was the mood after the game? It was that one of the lowest you've ever felt?
Aye. I actually remember we had like a big get together after it. Obviously it would have been a party if we won, but still said all the families and that come back to the hotel. I remember like family and that came back, all the boys' families and that went upstairs. It must have been about 20 minutes. Spoke to my dad for about 10 minutes, my missus, and I was like, I'm going to my bed. Like, just
So you went straight to bed?
aye, straight to bed. Just
Aye.
he'd gone.
You can probably look back at it now and think that was unreal, but at
Aye.
the time, you're like, you just lost a fucking
Aye.
final, you know what I mean?
Who was
And
brilliant?
that's it.
You're a legend
legends
forever, aren't you?
But obviously they come back, like your family come back and think like, oh, we'll come back and we'll sit in, like, but then you go back and you've lost a final you've played in, do you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
the last thing I want to do is sit and talk shite for like,
Talk about it.
an hour or...
Who was brilliant on that run?
Talking to people about a game.
Aye.
Any game is a
Ah,
fucking
brutal,
nightmare.
aye.
I mean,
But you thinking that time when you go
Aye.
in the 13 minutes?
see
Shut
that time
the
you
fuck
took it at
up.
half turn and sing to the pitch, what were you thinking? I was like,
It wasn't even like that, it was more just awkward, wasn't it? Because like, what do they say as well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just lost a
And
European
in the
final.
manner of that though, it's went to penalties,
Ah,
so you're
sickening.
so close.
Aye.
It's not like you went there and get battered or anything.
Nah. Who was brilliant on that run for Rangers, individuals?
Tav was just...
Was Bassett?
Aye, Tav
was top scorer, wasn't
Aye.
Was he?
I'm sure he got like, do you not get like team of the right back of the season in that?
he? No surprise.
In that competition, did he?
Aye.
Top goal scorer. I think there was like a stat as well, like every game at Ibrox he scored the first goal in the games.
Wow.
Like all
Bassett
throughout the
overall,
knockout.
Aye,
Bassett
Bassett
came
was
in,
a
did he?
Fucking joke.
Bassett. That's when he actually really came about, wasn't it?
He was a joke in the final, I remember.
Yeah, he was.
Aye, he was
Aye.
man of the match.
Left centre back, wasn't
Absolute beast, man.
he? Who else was good? Obviously you.
Lonnie.
Lundstrom.
He was brilliant.
Because he was dropping obviously midfield and centre half, do you know what I mean?
Because there's quite mixed reviews on Lundstrom's Rangers career, but I thought he's a good player for Rangers now.
Aye. Lonnie was a top player.
Especially
Yeah.
in Europe.
Player. But even that, he
Probably
was like
Europe.
vital to that sort of run because he was the one that would always use to change, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he could obviously run, so you put him centre half. Nobody would outrun him.
Yeah.
So he could run, so.
Was Kent? Was he no flying as well?
Aye.
He was.
Aye, Rag
Kenny was a joke, mate.
He was. He was. I thought.
In Europe,
We actually had a striker as well for most of that run because Buff done a squad.
that's right. So who played
Snapped
that?
the squad. Aribo played 9 in the final. Can't remember who played. Who'd have played 9 in the Leipzig? I can't remember. I remember Scotty Wright played.
Scotty Wright definitely started it. He started the final.
Final, that's what he
Aye.
did.
Mate, do you know what's actually mad about that run? Like Rangers get the final, knocking Dortmund out, and then a couple of years later, Dortmund are in the Champions League final.
I know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Even Leipzig flying in Champions League, weren't they?
Uh-huh.
Mental though.
That's it. Like with the teams Rangers beat in that run, you get in Frankfurt in the final and you think, fucking hell, beat
Gonna beat them.
Frankfurt.
Aye,
Frankfurt. I'm sure they beat Barca 4-0.
Aye, they did. They did.
Nah, they're not high. They were.
4-0.
They beat them away from home as well.
That's right, we Xavi, huh? And then you go and win the Scottish Cup a few days later, that softened the blow a wee bit, or must have been tough to get yourself
Aye.
up for that as well.
It was.
You
Aye.
scored the first, didn't you?
Aye. It was. I didn't even start. So, like, obviously after the game, we flew back the next day, stayed over, flew back. Didn't train again because obviously just played in the heat. So it was just recovery basically. Went to the hotel on the Friday. So we got back, obviously went to the hotel, stayed over, and obviously played the Saturday against Hearts. But same again, it was just all like on the TV, the tactics, and
that was a pure nutting game as well.
Aye.
Wasn't there a chance?
We were terrible. We were terrible in the game. And obviously I didn't start that, so then obviously He'd's gone for the game and you're not playing the final, He'd's gone again, and then obviously...
Did he tell you weren't playing the game, or just find out when you turned up?
We knew there was going to be a few changes because obviously
the effort you put in.
Playing Seville, the effort with the heat, but didn't tell us, just put the team up on the day, and then obviously wasn't playing, and then went on to score the goal.
And then party after it in Hardman or somebody else's house?
Aye, that was in Ibrox.
Back to Ibrox.
Aye, it's a good night.
What does Gio drink? It's definitely like a Sol or something in it.
No,
it was a Peroni.
Pina colada, I think the big one, wasn't
I thought that.
Oh right, on the pina coladas, man. 12 pina coladas.
Yeah, but the achievement to win the Scottish. Remember they beat Celtic in the semi-final, and I remember that, and you were going to extra time, and then Thursday, Sunday, just constant for you, wasn't it? So it was some achievement. What I'm so surprised about now is how Van Bronckhorst got sacked when he did. I know at the time they weren't happy, but when you see that, actually, when you're hearing it there, the achievement of that, running the teams they beat, winning the Scottish Cup as well, were you shocked when he left?
I think obviously a big part of that was probably like the Europe deflected for the league, do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because obviously the league, we're miles off it in the league. Can't remember what the points finished or whatever, but obviously first and foremost you want to do well in the league, but because Europe, when we got through Dortmund, it was like, right, we've got another, like that gave the fans and like everybody someone else to focus on, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if we never had that run, we'd have been getting absolutely slaughtered for the league, do you know what I mean? We'd have.
But also the fact he done that where, like you're saying how you wanted to play it, he never even had the type of players to play that the way he actually wanted to play.
Aye.
Talk about the two fullbacks, he liked two fullbacks that would be sitting and be good defensively.
Aye.
Never had that, he's full time at Rangers, so you never probably got to see the full potential of how Van Bronckhorst actually wanted to play.
I think domestically though, where like when Gerrard left, with Rangers know something like 5 or 7 points at the top of the table when Gerrard left, so when Van Bronckhorst came in, it was like...
So there was a drop off in there.
But it's like he says, so you can see why, don't you? Because that system was so fitted to how Gerrard wanted to play, and he didn't want to play that system, so...
And then you're a few months in and you come in and try and change it, and then it's like, it's too much, you know what
Do you think he should have been kept on, Van Bronckhorst?
There's probably an argument that he should have, aye.
Yeah.
But obviously it goes back to like chopping and changing managers every sort of 18 months or whatever it is, and it's different styles every time. There's never like a plan on
continuity
on like...
So we've said that before, haven't we? Like that is like, if you recruit players to fit your team's style.
Yeah.
So then if you're going to sack a manager, there needs to be some sort of continuity where it's like it's the club's plan, it's not one guy's plan. Do you know what I mean?
But the club actually gives the manager at the time the full
run it
back in, and he signs 10 players, doesn't go well, and then the next manager's going to say I don't want him. Then the club's just in a circle where just chopping and changing all the time.
Obviously Van Bronckhorst leaves. He worked with Beale previously as assistant. Were you happy he was coming in as manager?
Aye, I think we obviously how we done under Gerrard, we knew that obviously Beale coming in, it was going to be back to sort of the way that we were under Gerrard, but obviously Van Bronckhorst has other players in, and you go away from that system to play a different system, then it's gone back to sort of what you had, so it was obviously a big change at the time, but as players you just got to try and adapt. Do you know what I mean?
So was Beale's plan to go, did he say that we're going to go right back to how we played when I was here the first time? Or was he tweaking it a wee bit?
He had sort of ideas to tweak it.
So it didn't seem exactly the same
he
as
had
Gerrard
ideas to obviously tweak it, but it was one of the ones, it was like a lot of the fundamentals on how we're going to play was there, but he wanted to add a couple of ideas.
Did you see a difference in him for like coach the manager, or just the same?
I think obviously in the end he tried to...
Because it is different, isn't it?
100%.
Aye, 100% it's different. Like, he was an unbelievable coach, and then obviously you need to go, and a lot of the players that you've coached, you're going to manage, and it's completely different. But I used to say it was like one of the ones where he comes back and you're obviously buzzing, you're hoping for the best, but didn't really work out.
Did he continue to do all the coaching as well as being the manager, or
he done
everything?
That's the thing I was touching on there, that like he done everything. So like in the end, he was like signing players, going to watch players, like taking the team, taking training.
Meetings.
Like taking meetings, team meetings.
Just the same voice all the time. Whereas where Gerrard was there before he was doing that, but Gerrard was doing the management stuff.
A bit of everything. So obviously under Gerrard you had maybe Culshaw doing the set plays, Gazmack being the guy in between everybody, Beale doing the training, and then the gaffer managing everybody above. But Beale took everything. He just came in, done everything, but obviously I just wish it worked out.
But then also the players he brought in, he got his recruitment wrong, didn't he?
Aye.
Such a massive...
That was
which has been a kind of theme at Rangers for a few years, to be fair. I know Michael Beale probably takes a bit more stick because he had a decent bit of budget to work with compared to other managers, but I think that has been an issue with Rangers.
But see, these players, Andy, that he did bring in, they had decent pedigree, didn't they? Like Danilo, the clubs he'd been at, Dessers had done it, Lammers had played in the top league. And see, when they first came in, did you? Because I remember they put videos in pre-season, it was Lammers especially. And you're thinking, he looks like a fucking player here. Did they look good when they first came in?
He took in obviously Raskin and Cantwell.
January. Who both came in and done well straight away,
both came in, obviously had an impact. So then I think going into that summer, because they two had an impact, the club probably thought, right, let's just go and sign.
Let him sign because he's had previous.
And then hopefully it works out. And then in pre-season, actually, pre-season was similar to the one that we done, like hard running, and you felt really fit, strong, like training was good. And then obviously, as you say, it's sometimes the pressure of being at Rangers just too much.
Did Lammers look good in pre-season?
Aye. I think everybody looked alright. Like nobody looked like none of the signings looked amazing, but
which is kind of what you want sometimes. You want that one or two players to come in and think, fucking hell, he's going to make a right difference to us.
That goes back to, like, as we've touched on over the years, is like when you have the chance to go and improve and add a bit more quality, do you know what I mean? And if you don't do it, then eventually the ones that are there just keep playing and that's what we've seen over the last.
Yeah.
And then eventually fans get fed up and say, right, he's no good enough. But then they boys have been relied on for 5-6 years.
And the club's never help for the ones that are coming in.
And then the club take in and then they're not as good. So then the manager straight away goes, right, I need to stick with him because we've brought in 4 or 5 players that know better than what we've got.
Yeah.
Aye. It's been like this. It's been like that for
and it's tough on guys. You are the ones that are always getting the criticism, but like you say, you are the one that are playing every single week. It's tough.
Then even with Celtic, you look at Celtic, like I know people say like they've not signed this summer a lot, but they don't really go and just sign to improve the squad. They go and sign to try and improve the starting team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you sign Asa Michael, he's coming in to improve actually starting 11.
Aye.
What about how does Beale leaving? What happens with Beale leaving? It's early on in the season, isn't it?
Get beat off was it Aberdeen? Was it the Aberdeen game at home?
Aye, we got beat off Aberdeen at home, but it was just...
Could you see it coming?
It turned in, didn't it, with the crowd as well?
Aye, you knew, like, you kind of know, like, Andy knows that as well, Rangers, like, when the crowd turn, like, you're coming to Ibrox, there's no atmosphere, like the Aberdeen game, there's no atmosphere. They score, I think it was a set play or something, and the full place just turns, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the gaffer's probably at the side, his head's probably away, players' heads are on the pitch, their heads are gone, like, it just...
Could you see after that Aberdeen game that Beale thought his time was up? Could you see that for him, or?
I just think the pressure comes, doesn't it? Like, it's naturally at big clubs, like the pressure just keeps coming, and then until you go and maybe win like 3-4 games, even like we could play the next game and win 1-0 and it's still no good enough, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aye.
They've just got it in their head.
So
it's to a point where
the doubts are there.
Performance as much as a result.
So you need to go and actually win 4-0 to actually start quieting. Aye. If you don't and it's like 1-0, then it's maybe a draw, then just keeps coming.
Hey, sorry to keep you here this long, but what's Dessers like? Can he be Rangers' main striker?
I mean, like, the goals that he's scored and contribution, like, it's hard to question it.
He started this season again like that, hasn't he?
Aye. But obviously, people just get frustrated with maybe the all-round, do you know what I mean?
Of course.
The hold-up, the link-up, like, it bounces off him now and again, but, I mean... He's the same. He's the same. He's always there, like for the next cross. He's always there for the next ball. He's always fronting it. But you can't question his goals. And now obviously you've got Danilo as well, who I think hopefully can come back and be a big player. Do you know what I mean? Because before he was injured, he was very good. Like technically, he can run. But obviously, gets a bad injury, so you never know.
See, towards the end of last season, did you think there was a stage where Rangers were going to do it?
Aye, you always obviously have that belief, like, because sometimes when you get momentum in football, it comes and like you've got it on your side. And then in the end, it just got a bit too much.
That was a Ross County and Dundee game, wasn't it?
Aye.
Why do you think that was?
I still think it was a Celtic game, mate. I think it was a Celtic game at home more than any.
What was that, 3-3?
3-3, aye. But you win that, you go 5 points clear.
Clear, yeah.
In the split, do you know what I mean? So I think that was probably the biggest missed opportunity.
It's always big moments. I think that game you're touching on there, like Celtic, I think that's the one they scored after like
3 seconds.
Right,
aye. And that just kills a full stadium, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Made us was a tackle for 30 yards. 10
It
seconds.
actually was, aye.
But even you must have been thinking that running like you've won a league winning, just like I can handle this pressure.
Aye, no, like, you know, like there's always going to be that pressure, like if it's, especially if it's neck and neck, you know it's there. Like players know that, that's, you sign up to that, do you know what I mean? Like you sign up because you're a good player and you need to deal with that.
Was there no way of an inkling that he was going to put you in for any of the games now?
Nah, I wasn't. Obviously I'd spoke to Steve Clark and he said, look, I'd played a couple of B team games, but then obviously when your mind's made up, it's probably made up. But obviously they never told me, but you're no daft as a player, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's going on, you know, you're old enough to know what's going on, but no, look, I would have loved to have tried and helped towards the end of the season, but wasn't it to be.
Some career.
Incredible. How do you look back at your Rangers career, mate?
Obviously a lot of pride. Obviously you wish you could have done more and achieved more, won more, but stuff that I achieved, and obviously the league, as touched on, European final, a lot of pride, aye.
Incredible.
Ryan Jack, what a guy.
Listen,
Amazing. But